It's a special game time on YurView. From the Big Easy, the University High Cubs taking on the Rummel Raiders in the YurView, Louisiana Game of the Week from the Caesars Superdome. It's game one of the Inspire the City Invitational in honor of Ed Daniels. Hello, everyone. Jeff Palermo along with Wade Kaiser this week. He is joining me, and thanks a lot for joining us 1 hour earlier, but for a good reason, because we got two games tonight. We are televising the first game, Rummel versus U-High, and then afterwards it's going to be Edna Carr against American Heritage from Plantation, Florida. But this game, the game that we're televising, Rummel and U-High, these two teams have met the last 3 years. Rummel has won each time, and each game was won by one possession for the Raiders. So looking for a close game inside the Superdome where they play the state championships, Wade. It's going to be a championship-like atmosphere here tonight.
Yeah, the city of New Orleans has been talking about this all week, right? It's been on the news. It's been on all the radio stations prepping it. So I know both teams are going to show up with a great fan base tonight here at the Dome. Look, and they're no strangers to this Dome now. You know, University High has won a few here, and so has Rummel. Rummel knows how to get here. So this should be really fun.
And both teams are very similar. So when we look at our keys to the game, Wade, they're a lot alike because both teams want to run the football.
No doubt about it. Both teams, we talked to them this week. That's talking about the coaches. They talked about how physical they have to be up front. University High needs to be physical up front on the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. And then they've got to stop Rummel's running game. Rummel has to win the line of scrimmage. Sounds familiar, right? And then they've got to finish strong. Had a little hiccup last week in a 1-point loss. Nick Monica knows his team has got to finish strong tonight.
It's a great early season matchup from New Orleans. This is game time on YurView. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff as week 2 gets underway from the Crescent City.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now. Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to let you know how much your case is potentially worth. I'm here with TV personality and spokesman Tom Mustin. So, Tom, tell the viewers at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You'll speak with a live person and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it. Take advantage of this opportunity. Call now.
Moments away from the first game of the Inspire the City Invitational, the University High Cubs from Baton Rouge taking on the Rummel Raiders from Jefferson Parish. Let's bring in the third member of our broadcast crew. That is former LSU Tiger and Parkview Baptist star, Terry Beckwith. Terry?
Guys, both teams have high standards and a championship pedigree. Making a deep run in the playoffs or winning district championship is not good enough. They preach excellence on and off the field every single day. And tonight is a little foreshadowing because both teams want to be back here in December in the Superdome competing for a title. We should have an outstanding and fun matchup. Back to you, Jeff.
You're right about that. This is a little bit of a taste for these two teams, for Rummel and University High. Both of them have won multiple state championships. U-High has won 6 of them. And this is actually their first time in the Caesars Superdome since 2018. Remember, the last one that they won was over in Lafayette when they were doing the split championships between the public and private schools. And for the Rummel Raiders, their last state title was Nick Monica's first season, 2019. And that game was played over at Ullman Stadium when they came from behind to beat the Catholic Bears. As the captains for these two teams at midfield, as the University High Cubs. This game was originally scheduled to be played at Joe Yenny Stadium. Edna Carr coming up after this game, playing on American Plantation, and Edna Carr wanted to play that game against American Plantation, which is one of the best teams in the country, in a great venue like the Caesars Superdome. So they wanted to do a doubleheader to really make a big deal out of it. And you take a look at Coach Andy Martin, and both of these schools were excited about the opportunity to play in the Dome. And Andy Martin, the Opelousas Catholic alum, who is entering his 25th season as a coach, 16 years as a coach at U High, took over for Chad Mahaffey, who spent 9 years at Catholic High. And there you take a look at some of the students from University High that have made it here. Cubs won their first game of the season by beating Woodlawn rather easily, 49-8. And there's a look at Coach Nick Monica in his 7th season, 46-23. Led Rummel to the semifinals back in 2023. Of course, a former assistant coach at St. Charles Catholic for 14 years. His dad is the great Frank Monica, who is in the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame and the Louisiana High School Hall of Fame. And then he was a defensive coordinator here at Rummel under the legendary coach here for Rummel, Jay Roth. U-High won the toss. They have deferred, so Rummel will receive. They will be going left to right. And we are ready for week 2 of the high school football season. A lot of fun to do the game here inside the Caesars Superdome. A little bit earlier of a start, so get ready for some good high school football here tonight. Mason Melanson has it teed up for the U-High Cubs. Rummel looking to get that bad taste out of their mouth when they lost to Lafayette Christian by 1 point. Jaden Terrence on the return, and he gets it up close to the 30-yard line. So we'll see Rummel and their starting quarterback, and that is Tyler Holden, 5'8", 177 pounds. He's a junior, but again, for Rummel, it's their running backs, Corian Hawkins and Jaden Terrence. Those are the two guys they are going to lean on, and you look at that big offensive line that Rummel has as well, led by Raymond Hughes, who is playing for the first time this season. Hughes is 6'4", 320 pounds. Holden was 6 of 14 for 98 yards last week. Corian Hawkins is the running back. Hawkins gets the carry. Hawkins has got a nice game, and he's close to the first down marker. Let's take a look at your starters. Brought to you by Butcher Air Conditioning. Hawkins, Terrence, Micah Green is the son of Skylar Green. Nathaniel Singleton, Mark Sheesby is a good tight end. And then that offensive line, I mentioned Hughes. Jaden Dillon is really good as well. Armando Reyes, Jules Bartholomew, and then Michael Smith. Your starting 5 on that offensive line. 2nd down and 3. And another nice little run here. That's going to be enough for a first down up to the 41-yard line. Let's take a look at U-High's defense. Christian Shaw, Bradley Goodson, Talamisi Albert, Lane Mixon is an outstanding player at 5 tackles last week. Caden Sims, Grassy, DJ Coleman, James Upton, Lorenzo Cooper, Aaron Moore, Emmanuel Moses. Yep, that's right, another Moses on the U-High football team. And then Ben Picarella, who is the younger brother of Emil Picarella, who was the quarterback at U-High for a couple seasons, who's now a walk-on quarterback over at LSU. That starting lineup brought to you by Butcher Air Conditioning, comfort specialist in HVAC, insulation, and generators, keeping South Louisiana comfortable for over 75 years. Only a 2-yard run there, as we'll see a lot of that. That was Corian Hawkins, who last year rushed for 49 yards against U-High.
Well, Corian Hawkins and Jaden Terrace are going to be your 1-2 hit for the Rummel Raiders. You're going to see them line up sometimes, both in the backfield. You might see Terrence out at a wide receiver, and you might see one of them in a wildcat position, because they're going to get the ball into these cats' hands some way to run the football.
So a 2-yard gain. Holden underneath center. Handed off once again. Hawkins trying to get over to the left side and nothing happening. That time it was Lane Mixon. I was just talking about him. He is an outstanding player for the Cubs, kind of the heart and soul of that U-High defense. An honorable mention All-State performer last year. He led the team in tackles in 2024, and he gets a nice tackle here.
Yeah, well, he's kind of hid in the middle in that 3-3-5 defense, which is what we're going to see out of University, and nobody gets to the second level to put a body on him. And when you don't put a body on Lane Mixon, he's going to run you down and tackle you, and that was a great look at what he can bring to the table for this U-High defense.
And number 55 there for U-High, that's Lamar Brown, the number one defensive lineman in the country, playing some defense here early on. The pass is going to be a little bit too high for a couple receivers that were there. I think that was intended for Micah Green, but Tyler Holden's pass ends up sailing over the two receivers that were in the area, and Rummel will have to punt.
Yeah, we're going to see a little of Lamar Brown tonight on both sides of the ball, and I'm sure as the season wears on, he might not even come off the field, right? I mean, he won't even get a blow. That's how good this young man is, this LSU commit, one of the top recruits in the country.
Lawson Dixon is ready to return this punt. And a decent boot there from Joseph Carapina, and it goes out of bounds. We'll take our first break from the Caesars Superdome. U-High will have the football when we come back. This is Game Time on YurView.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions, and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Back inside the Caesars Superdome, Jeff Palermo, Wade Kaiser, and Derry Beckwith down on the sidelines. Ethan McGlynn, your starting quarterback for the University High Cubs. Sage Ingram is in the backfield with them. 6 starters are back on this U-High offense. Their offensive coordinator, Alex Duran, first year with U-High as the OC in movement at the line of scrimmage. And that's going to push U-High up 5 yards.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, number 7. That's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Yeah, Nick Monica talked about last week they had some pre-snap penalties, and they had to clean that up for this week. And here you go right off the bat before the first snap for the U-High Cubs. Rummel lines up in the neutral zone.
Earl Thomas is our referee, our officiating crew from the New Orleans area. Gain of a couple yards there. And they'll bring up 2nd down and 3. And you're already seeing a common theme between these two. Just run the ball as Sage Ingram had the carry there. There's Ethan McGlynn taking over for Emil Picarella. McGlynn did get a little action last year, threw 4 touchdown passes. He's waited his turn. He got a lot of action on the JV level last year. Took full advantage of that opportunity. Another flag, and that pass short hops the receiver, Sage Ingram, coming out of the backfield. Flag thrown by the referee on the near side, so we'll see what this is all about.
Yeah, Andy Martin said about his quarterback that he's going to be a doctor, so that's how bright this guy is, right?
Can make all the throws. He's athletic. He can move well and really understands the offense. And learned a lot watching Emil Picarella play quarterback for U-High. So let's see. Looks like this is going to go back 5 yards for U-High.
Illegal formation on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the University High Cubs, brought to you by Butcher Air Conditioning. So the two outstanding running backs in Corbin Odell and Sage Ingram. Lawson Dixon is certainly a wide receiver they want to get the football to. 4 catches last week. William Martin, Charlie Pettit had a couple catches from that tight end spot. And then the offensive line, Mason Smith, Lamar Brown, Jacques Hart, Lawson Guidry, and Jordan Pinnock. We already told you about Lamar Brown. He's going to LSU. Jordan Pinnock is going to the Raging Cajuns as a defensive end, but he's playing offensive line mainly for the University High Cubs. That looks like it's enough for a first down on the run off the left side, and that was Sage Ingram getting the carry.
Yeah, he's part of those dual running backs from the Cubs, right? They call them fire and ice, both of them, Ingram and Odell, cheering each other on. When one's off the field, one's out there cheering for the other one that's on the field, correct? So that's one of the things that Andy Martin said that's great about this group of kids that he's coaching this year. They're all pulling for each other in all of their endeavors.
4 wide receivers, McGlynn rolls out of the pocket, looking for somebody downfield, and did he make a catch there on the far sideline? Waiting to see. That's William Martin, who tried to get a foot in bounds. The referees talk about it, and that's going to be a first down for the Cubs into Rummel territory. Nice play there, a 17-yard pickup as Ethan McGlynn, who threw for 126 yards last week in the win over Woodlawn, off to a good start here.
Yeah, he puts the ball in the only spot that the ball can be caught by William Martin. Now, that looked really close, right, on the replay. But great throw by McGlynn.
Oh, little flea flicker action here. A flag flies. McGlynn running for his life. He throws it away. Jacoby Dunn was the man applying the pressure on McGlynn, and we've seen a lot of Earl Thomas III so far tonight.
Holding on the offense, number 60. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Let's take a look at the Rummel Raiders defense. Jacoby Dunn, Russ Lewis, Philip Lees, Charlin Kitchen, Bryce Hingle, Kingsley Barconi. This kid's going to be a really special player before it's all said and done. Gavin Cooper, Kerryon Jackson, Chris Parker Jr., Mitchell Harris Jr., Tyrus Franklin. 4 or 5 juniors there.
Yeah, a lot of guys coming back for next year. Nick was proud of how he has taken his roster and kind of balanced it out, right? He's got a nice group of seniors, a really up-and-coming group of juniors, and some young sophomores that are getting some playing time.
Low snap, and this is going to be trouble. Bryce Hingle bringing down Ethan McGlynn. As there you take a look at Bryce Hingle, who had 5 tackles last week.
Yeah, well, it all started with a poor snap, right? Kind of fumbling the ball down at his feet, and McGlynn had to pick the ball up and kind of, get going. And here comes everything in a light blue jersey here. There's number 1. There's Mitchell Harris, and followed up by the rest of the Raiders, who are quick to get to the ball.
Loss of 8. Hingle is a junior. Trying to set up the screen, and it'll get him a few of those yards back. But it's also going to set up 3rd down and a long way to go here for the Cubs back at their own 42-yard line as they got the ball to Sage Ingram, who had a 33-yard catch last week.
Well, it's going to bring up 3rd and an Uber drive, right? So, what do you call here? You got screens, you got draws, you're trying to, take some of that pressure off your quarterback by that rush coming from that defense. Let's see what they call.
3rd and 17. McGlynn now moving, seeing if anybody can get open downfield, and nobody's open, and not much running room there either. What a big-time hit by Gavin Cooper Jr. coming up and laying a big hit on Ethan McGlynn to force the punt team to come on.
Well, it started with the coverage in the secondary. Great job by the Rummel Raiders secondary, and then Gavin Cooper comes up to lay the wood hard on Ethan McGlynn.
Even though we're playing indoors, we have the hydration timeout. No score early on.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. and it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Mitchell Harris Jr. ready to return the punt from Mason Mawson. Mawson averaged 39 yards a punt last week. He handles both the punting and the kicking. He was pretty good kicker and punter last year as well for University High. Man, there's some serious hang time here. And a brave young man is Mitchell Harris to not even call the fair catch there, but he ducks out of the way to avoid a big hit. That's a 40-yard punt off the foot of Mason Mawson.
You've got to see what they're seeing down there, right? Man. They're looking up in the lights. That was a great hit, great concentration. But we talked to both coaches this week, and I said, are you guys going to get to go in there and practice? Look, there's a difference in this dome catching punts and passes that are up in those lights because it's like outer space. And if you don't practice it, it's hard to catch those punts. That guy did a great job that time concentrating on that football and catching that football.
Bradley Goodson came in and made the hit on the punt coverage team. Now Corian Hawkins, the running back here for Rummel, as they try to get that ground game established. Hawkins trying to get out of the backfield, and good pursuit of the football there by the Cubs. They'll bring him down for a loss. DJ Coleman, the defender there, 5 tackles a week ago. As Coleman comes up and makes the hit, he's a senior, a defensive back, and they're just crowding the line of scrimmage right now, Wade.
Well, he's what you call an overhang in a 3-3-5 defense. Outside linebacker, strong safety. There's a lot of terms for him. He does a great job playing off the lead block with his inside shoulder and setting the edge and doing a great job making a tackle in the backfield for a loss.
Loss of 3. Emmanuel Moses was there as well for the Cubs. 2nd down and 13. Holden. Nice little safe pass, but good defense once again. And a minimal gain as they got the ball off to Kirby Cade. But Emmanuel Moses, 15 tackles in 2024. He is the younger brother of Dylan and Keelan Moses. Keelan is at LSU. Dylan, of course, played at Alabama.
Well, it seems like you've been watching University for years, and they've got a Moses on the field, right? Well, everybody, this is the baby. unless something happens, he's the last of the train, the caboose. Yes. And boy, is he a good football player.
3rd down and 10 here for Rummel at their own 13-yard line. Holden needs to make a play. He's got a clean pocket. He'll dump it off. But again, the Cubs defense is right there. That's Jaden Torrance. Torrance trying to get what he can. Able to get a few yards there. But Jackson Hester, who is the son. Let's get the call here first. Well, I guess I could say it. He's the son of Jacob Hester from, of course, the LSU Tigers. And the Hesters, they got 5 kids. So who knows? We're going to be talking about Hesters for a long time moving through the high school ranks.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty. The play will result in a 1st down.
Big break there for the Rummel Raiders, Wade.
Yeah, somebody got their hand in the face mask and pulled. Once you pull on it, you're going to get a 15-yard penalty. And let's see if we can get a good look from it. And a lot of white jerseys around the football. See if we got a hand in there, maybe right there at the end as the running back was going down to the ground. So you've got 2 types. You've got the personal foul where you yank on it, or you've got just your hand on the face mask. That was a personal foul.
1st and 10 at the 32. This is Kirby Cade. Cade can't turn the corner. Good speed on this U-High defense. Lorenzo Cooper came up and made the stop, and that was one of the things that Andy Martin told us about his defense. Really good team speed. They returned 6 starters And they're really good in the defensive secondary as well. Aaron Moore, he's a Navy commitment. James Upton was third on the team in tackles a year ago.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. How well these guys run. You can see the way they pursue to the football. A lot of white jerseys getting outside when it's out on the boundary.
2nd down and 11 here for Rummel. Hard run up the middle. And all the way up to the 41, a couple yards shy of the first down. That was Lorenzo Cooper making the tackle on Jaden Terrence.
See, that's where the strength of that Rummel Raider offensive line is. It's between the tackles. Those guys are huge, right? I'm Rummel. I'm Joe Chango, the offensive coordinator of Rummel. I'm going to test my strength against your strength and establish that offensive line dominance on the line of scrimmage, which is one of their goals, and I'm going to run right at them between those tackles.
Jaden Terrence, 5'8", 150 pounds. Gets another carry here, looking for a hole, bounces it to the outside, and he's got himself a first down, and as he breaks a couple tackles up to the 50-yard line. Nice little run there. Cooper finally got a hand on him. Ben Picarello also there defensively. They move the chains as the Raiders now up to the 50-yard line, taking an advantage of that face mask penalty that kept the drive alive.
Yeah, Terrence runs bigger than 5'9", 163, right? I mean, he lowers his shoulders, falls forward, does all the good things that good running backs do. He finishes runs.
Now from the 50-yard line here for the Rummel Raiders. Shotgun formation here for Tyler Holden. Holden gets rid of it quickly. The receiver comes back to the ball. That's Nathaniel Singleton Jr., who had a catch last week. Gets about 6 or 7 there to the 45-yard line. Is mixing in a little bit of pass, a little bit of run.
It's good to see Singleton back. He was out last year with an ACL that he had early in the year, right? And he didn't play all of last year. Here he is back, rehabbed, ready to roll. Nick says here expecting big things out of him this year.
Yeah,
talking about Nick Monica, that is.
He tore his ACL in the scrimmage, so
right.
Missing all of the season in 2024. 2nd down and a short 5. Look out, here comes, they able to break through there. And another great run here for the Rummel Raiders. That's Jaden Terrence. University High got into the backfield, but once Terrence got through those first wave of tacklers, a lot of room to run.
Look, you can live by the blitz and you can die by the blitz, right? Sometimes you blitz, you run right past the run, especially when it's between the tackles. Everything gets clawed up inside and clogged up inside, and all of a sudden that running back just squirts through a little crack, and he's off into the 2nd level and then into the 3rd level, right? Your 2nd level's gone. It blitzed. So that's exactly what happened right there for Terrence.
26-yard run, now up to the 24-yard line. Best drive of the night for either team. Under a minute and a half to go in this opening quarter. Again, great job by U High to get in the backfield, but they're not able to bring down Corian Hawkins, who still ends up getting about 5 yards. And they have now entered the Raging Cajuns red zone. Raging Cajun. Go ahead.
That is a mouthful, right? The Raising Cane's red zone.
Raising Cane's red zone appearance. Raising Cane's, fuel your game day the Cane's way. 2nd down and 5 from the 19. Again, getting into the backfield, but now finding the open receiver inside the 10-yard line, all the way to the 3.
That's Sheeby. Nick Monica said they expected big things out of him tonight as well as all this year. He's a nice-sized tight end that will line up out at wide receiver. He's 6'5", I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and he can run routes from a wide out position, a wide receiver position, as well as from a hand-in-the-dirt tight end position. He'll play H-back. There he is right there. He's a good-looking athlete.
5'11", 175-pound junior.
I was off on that height a little bit, 5'11". There you go.
1st and goal at the 3. And finally they wrap up the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage. That's James Upton. Able to get off his block and make a tackle, force a 5-yard loss here for Rummel.
Well, what happens is he sets the edge. He's one of those overhang players, just like we had talked about earlier. And he comes up the field. That tackle needs to get latched onto him and make sure he rides the pursuit outside to allow the running back to cut underneath that. Great job by Upton setting that edge.
That's the final play of the first quarter. Really good drive here for Rummel. Helped out by a face mask penalty called on University High on third down. We'll see if the Raiders can score a touchdown in New Orleans from the Caesar Superdome. This is Game Time on YurView.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
We begin the second quarter from the Caesar Superdome. Jeff Lerma, Wade Kaiser. Rummel has moved the ball into the Raising Cane's red zone. Let's bring in Derry Beckwith. Derry, what are the Rummel Raiders doing here to have some success against this stingy U-High defense?
Well, on that first drive, U-High D-line was getting a lot of penetration, but on the second series, Rummel's O-line is doing a lot of combo blocking. They're doubling down and working them to the second level. And also in the passing game, they're getting Tyler Holden out in the flats, getting him a run-pass option to avoid that pressure.
This is going to be Hawkins, and Hawkins brought down immediately right at the line of scrimmage. First man there for the Cubs, Lane Mixon.
Yeah, there he is. Boy, is he a good-looking linebacker. He's physical. What they say, he's one heck of a baseball player, isn't he?
He is. He's committed to Northwestern State, a very good tackler, and he's also a good third baseman, a big part of that 2024 team that won a state championship in baseball, the first in school history, beating St. Charles Catholic, a great come-from-behind win. And a legendary game for U-High to beat the Comets that day. Third down and goal. Holden with nobody in the backfield with him. He'll get rid of the ball quickly, and he does to Singleton. And Singleton taken out of bounds at the 4-yard line. DJ Coleman on the stop. And let's see what Nick Monica does. I think he's bringing in the field goal unit, and he is.
Yeah, University goes to man coverage, zero coverage all across the board, right? They take a linebacker out of the box. Instead of running the football, they elect to pop the football outside, which is like it's like a wide sweep. They get out there, great tackle by Aaron Moore to come up and make the tackle on the quick pass.
Robert Monteval Vargas, a senior kicker. And the field goal try from 21 yards is good. Nice job by Vargas, as he's pretty accurate from within inside 40. So Rummel gets on the board first. They lead it 3-0. Tonight's game on YurView, brought to you by Guidry's Catfish. Guidry's Catfish, feeding your family like ours since 1976. Also brought to you by OSPT, Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy, helping you move freely and live fully. Also brought to you by Elevation Station, a place for non-stop action and family fun. Elevation Station. And Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love. Really good drive there for Rummel, Wade. Again, they got helped out by that face mask penalty, but in a game where you have two evenly matched teams, you got to take advantage of those breaks. And Nick Monica's team goes 12 plays, 83 yards, and finishes off that drive with the field goal by Vargas.
Yeah, they ran the ball inside the tackle 2 or 3 times. in that series with success. They need to hold on to those things. You can see where they're trying to mix up the outside run, the outside pass, the quick pass, the boot, those sort of things just to keep that U-high defense off balance, but it's bread and butter inside the tackles where I think they can really move the football.
Tough loss last week for Rummel, a 1-point defeat to Lafayette Christian. Rummel got off to a great start in that game, and then it just kind of, they teetered out a little bit.
Yeah, Nick said it was maybe a little something to do with, the physicality or their conditioning. He did not know, so he worked hard this week.
Oh, big hit there on the return, man. Oh, man, coming up and really drilling the return man. That was Noah Hilburn. And on the return was, looked like Emmanuel Moses on that return.
Yeah, Emmanuel Moses, Jamarcus Jones, both kind of lit him up as he was coming up the field.
All right, so now for the U-High Cubs, let's bring in Derry Beckwith here. What kind of adjustments do you expect the Cubs to do here on this second drive of the night for U-High?
I think on their first drive, they just shot themselves in the foot. They did a great job of moving the football. I think they're getting some access and getting some yards running the football. So, look, just stick with the game plan. Don't panic. Come out and try to put and execute a drive together and try to see if they get some points on the board.
Odell is the running back, 13 carries for 93 yards, averaged 7 yards a carry, and had a couple touchdowns last week in the win over Woodlawn. Odell gets the carry, and he gets hammered as he came across. Carlin Kitchen Jr. for Rummel came up and made the hit. Kitchen Jr., a senior, 5'9", 175 pounds.
They say he's the quarterback of the defense. That's what Nick Monica called him. He's the guy that gets their front set up, calls all of their blitzes according to the offense's formations. He's the guy that if he wasn't there, they'd be running around with their heads cut off.
Kitchen had 66 tackles last season. That was second on the team. Odell on another carry there. Minimal gain once again coming up. Mitchell Harris making another stop. Mitchell Harris, high IQ player in that defensive secondary. Harris, he's also a junior. Third down coming up for University High.
Yeah, I mean, like Derry said, they can't panic here. They need to establish their dominance on the line of scrimmage with those stud offensive linemen they have. Running the ball inside the tackles can also be their bread and butter.
William Martin, the wide receiver, to the near side. McGlynn backing up, retreating some more. He's got to get rid of it, and he just throws it away. Great job by the Rummel Raiders as they force a 3-and-out. Frustrating series there for McGlynn and the Cubs. Applying the pressure, that's Russ Lewis.
Rummel jumps into their three-man front. They bring one of their overhang outside linebackers off the wide side of the field, off the edge, and he got home, and that caused McGlynn to get off his spot, move his feet, buy some time, and just throw the football away. Smart play by McGlynn. Great job by Rummel dialing up the blitz from the wide side of the field.
Mason Melanson back out the punt. Had a really nice punt his last time out for 40 yards. A ton of hang time on it from his own 7 as he another one of a lot of hang time, but not very far. And it's going to be down at the 47-yard line. Raiders have outstanding field position. 9:40 to go before halftime. That was a 28-yard punt. We'll be back after this on Game Time.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Rummel Raiders back on the field. 1st and 10 at the 47. after the 28-yard punt. They went 12 plays, 83 yards on their last drive, finished it off with a 21-yard field goal by Vargas. Starting this drive from U-High territory, Jeff Lerma, Wade Kaiser, and Terry Beckwith with you, and that pass not far enough there as they try to get it out to the flat. It's a work in progress with Tyler Holden. I mean, this is a young man that's worked a lot on his game, according to Coach Nick Monica. But
yeah, they said he won the job in the offseason, had a great spring. Works hard every day at practice. And the staff sat down, and there was a quarterback competition, and Holden was the one that got all the votes and won the competition.
5 of 7 for 28 yards here tonight. Over the middle, and tough pass to try to complete there, and a good job by James Upton. He had the outstanding coverage on the receiver. And now Rummel looking at a third down. They're 1 for 3 on third down so far tonight. 3 for 10. They've tried to open it up here, I think, a little bit more. Last week they only threw it 14 times. He's already up to 8 attempts so far in this game.
Trying to keep that front from getting all bunched in, right? Getting 8 guys in the box, so he's trying to spread them out by formation and throw the ball a few times.
Let's see. Oh, and that gets away from Holden. He's just going to have to fall on it, and he does. And that's a big loss, and that's a missed opportunity for the Rummel Raiders to start that drive in U-High territory and do absolutely nothing with it. Jordan Pinnock ended up falling on top of Holden for the 11-yard loss.
It's just off his right hand as it was high and right? I mean, that would definitely be outside the strike zone. But he's got to catch that ball so that thing just doesn't keep rolling back there. Great job hustling to get back on that ball bounding around back there.
Joseph Carapina in his first year as a punter. He's got a strong leg. Coach Nick Monica thinks he'll kick in college one day, and that's a decent punt with a little pressure on him. Fair catch called at the 28-yard line. Now let's take a look at the Raising Cane's box combo game of the week preview as the Alexandria Senior High Trojans, who had a shutout win over Union Parish last night, take on the Destrehan Wildcats. Destrehan facing Bonneville tonight. We saw Destrehan last week. Destrehan losing to Catholic High. And so we'll be at Destrehan next Friday at 7 p.m. only on YurView, Cox Cable Channel 4. And that's your Raising Cane's box combo game of the week preview. Fill your game day the Canes way from the 28-yard line. Nice run off the left side as U-High trying to get something going. That's Sage Ingram on the carry.
Yeah, Ingram comes in last week with 118 yards rushing, right? He's half of that fire and ice combo that we talked about earlier in the game. Running outside zone stretch right there. Picks up a few yards.
Nothing happening, though, on that carry, and it'll bring up third down again here for the Cubs as Ingram unable to get going.
Again, trying to establish dominance in between the tackles. That Rummel defensive line, some big guys in there too. You got a lot of banging going on inside the tackles on that line of scrimmage. Someone has got to try to establish the dominance, and it might not come out all the way until the end of the game.
So third down and 6. McGlynn, here comes the pressure. McGlynn rolling out. Anybody open downfield, and he does find someone for a first down. Got it to Charlie Pettit. Nice job by McGlynn to use his feet, buy himself a little time. And Pettit, who had 3 touchdown catches in 2024, a versatile player, able to make a catch for a first down.
Yeah, a little twist up front by the guys in blue.
Ooh, big time hit there, and the man who made the tackle on Ingram ends up losing his helmet. That's Russ Lewis, who makes another play.
University going fast.
Yeah, a little tempo here.
Up tempo. Play before last, they had a little twist up front, and the Rummel Raider defender got free and chased McGlynn out of the pocket. McGlynn did a nice job just looking downfield, getting rid of that football for the completion.
Here's Corbin Odell. Odell, nice little run there. Got himself about 6 yards to the 49-yard line.
University trying to up-tempo things here, trying to change the pace, see if that will kind of wear out the big Rummel defensive lineman up front. Well, now they slow it down and look into the boundary to get the call.
3rd down and 4. McGlynn in the shotgun formation. Hands it off to Odell, who bobbled the snap or the handoff, and then that really ruined the play there. Kitchen again making another tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and I believe U-High will have to punt, or will they keep the offense on the field? Looks like they're going to keep the offense, but you do have the hydration timeout coming up here, so this might be McGlynn with and now we have a penalty. They were trying to do all kinds of stuff to try to throw Rummel off.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, number 66. That's a 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
Well, they had the illegal procedure penalty. What they were trying to do is set up real quick, and they're going to run the punt team on and try to keep the personnel on the field for Rummel, or some sort of trick play possibly, maybe by running their punt team on real fast. Now they have the punt team out there, which is going to force
hydration timeout.
Their personnel.
And now we come up to the hydration timeout. U-High will punt the football when we come back. We figured it would be a defensive struggle, and so far that's what we got in the dome.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Good look at the Rummel band and their cheerleaders. Friday night in the Dome instead of Joe Yenny Stadium. Rummel actually played in the Dome last year against Lafayette Christian. If you remember, week 1 was an absolute quagmire when it comes to weather. We were over in Crowley that night, Wade, and it was raining cats and dogs, and weather was bad in Jefferson Parish as well, and they made a last-minute decision. It was like Friday afternoon, and we got to play somewhere. The weather's horrible, and they somehow they found the keys to the Dome, and they snuck in here, and they played Lafayette Christian here in the Dome a season ago.
Well, it always helps to know somebody, too, right? I mean, when you know somebody, you can get the keys to the place, run in, turn the lights on, and crank up the AC, and then that's what the Rummel Raiders did.
I think the AC is always cranked up here.
Isn't it? Right. I mean, we call those state finals together, and it's freezing, absolutely.
Actually, not too bad in here today. 1st down and 10 at the 31. That's because I came prepared. Now, if I didn't bring my jacket, it would be about 55 degrees in here. Tyler Holden and the Rummel Raiders up 3-0 from their own 31-yard line. Another nice run off the right side by Jaden Terrence. Let's go down to Derry Beckwith. Derry, what do you like about these Rummel Raider running backs and Corian Hawkins and Jaden Terrence?
They complement each other so well. One's physical, one's shifty. Anytime you have running backs that's different, it puts a lot of pressure on the defense because you have to scheme differently for both running backs, and the offensive lineman is doing a great job at creating holes and creating lanes for these guys to get through.
Terrence, a junior. He's got 4 carries for 50 yards in this contest. A pickup of 5, pressure coming in the backfield and unable to get away from it as Lane Mixon chased him down and brought Terrence down after, well, no gain. He got down right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 here for Rummel.
You got to get a body on Mixon. I mean, somehow, some way, when you're going to run it between the tackles, you're going to have a guard center combo up to that Mike linebacker and at least get a chip on him or some sort of push on him, because if not, he'll ruin your whole game in between the tackles. He's that good.
Pass over the middle and a nice catch by Kirby Cade, and that should be a first down for the Rummel Raiders, and it is. Tackled by Ben Picarella. Good job by Tyler Holden to stand in that pocket and deliver the pass to Kirby Cade.
Yeah, University just rushes 3, right? It's amazing when you just rush 3 and you got your big offensive line, can wall everything off, and your receiver gets open, sitting right between the linebackers in the zone. Talking about Kirby Cade, ball delivering on time. Nice play by the Rummel Raiders.
6 of 9 for 38 yards now for Tyler Holden. And now they go back to their bread and butter, and that's the ground game. A flag flies, and this looks like it's coming back, and that will take away a good run there by Terrence. This would be the second penalty on Rummel if it's called against them.
Holding on the offense, number 77. That's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Yeah, they got Raymond Hughes, the big offensive line. Good look at that guy right there. I'll tell you what, I bet you he can tear up a dinner table, right? I mean, that man right there just got his hand caught up right there in the jersey. He's got to let go, young man. Had your hands in the right place, but once that running back gets there and you feel the timing is right, that's when you got to let go of that jersey. And when you're out on the edge like that as a big offensive tackle, they're going to catch that every time.
First down and 20 now, under 4 minutes to go before halftime from the 37-yard line. Holden. And probably best that Terrence did not catch that pass. That wasn't going anywhere.
Well, it's also a dangerous pass out there, Jeff. You just let that ball hang a little bit, it could get picked and it could be 6 down the boundary, right? He needed to sail that over the head of the receiver because he knew that he had no place to go. Great job by the University secondary. Those guys went to a too-high coverage that time, and they ended up covering everything in a blue jersey that was going vertical. He checks down, it's covered, throw it away.
Tyler Holden, an honor student, added some strength in the offseason. Threw a lot over the summer, and good run by Terrence. Terrence into U-High territory up to the 45-yard line. Stopped just shy of the first down. He's 3 yards shy is Terrence. 21-yard run there. Really good play.
Great job by the offensive line. They got up to the second level. They got a body on Mixon that time. That allowed Terrence to get in there, press the hole, take a nice jump cut, get outside, and he's off into the secondary. He runs a lot bigger than 163 pounds.
17-yard run, on that carry. So we're coming up on the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. 3-0 lead for Rummel. Hit in the backfield and going down as the ball carrier, Caden Sims-Grassi, makes the tackle there for U-High.
Yeah, they didn't get a body on Caden Sims-Grassi that time, number 22 from his linebacker position. He saw that. He smelled that. Look at him fit right there. Nice job. And then he brings down the running back, Terrence, by the legs.
Well, that's going to force Rummel to punt. They're probably thinking maybe they're in 4-down territory, but after they lost a yard or two, Now, this is a situation where you got to watch out for the fake punt. At this point, 2:23 and counting. You never know on a play like this. Midfield, 4th down and 6. I tried to talk them into it, Wade. They wouldn't do it, though. And that's going to bounce out of bounds at the 22-23 yard line. Let's go down to the field and Derry Beckwith. And Derry, we talked about it earlier. U-High's got tremendous speed on defense.
They do. Look, guys, fly around to the football. I'm extremely impressed on every level. The D-line, linebackers, and even the secondary, they fly around. And the linebacker, number 4, Lane Mixon, is an absolute monster. I love the way the guy flows to the football, and he reads his keys exceptionally well. A lot of times for the high school linebacker, they may get what you call they bite the cheese. They don't have their eyes correct, but his eyes are correct. He fits the run gaps perfectly, and he makes a lot of tackles.
It's down and 10 at the 25-yard line. Let's see if Ethan McGlynn can work the 2-minute offense. They got all 3 timeouts, run up the middle. That's only going to get them a couple. And I think they're going to they're going to get up to the line of scrimmage as fast as they possibly can. Sage Ingram was on that carry. Ingram averaged 8 yards a carry last week. finding it a little bit harder to run the football against this really good Rummel defense.
Rummel mixing their fronts up. 4-man fronts, 3-man fronts. They're back into their 4-man front.
Going back the other way is Ingram. And Ingram able to find some room around the left end, and he gets the first down to the 38-yard line. That will stop the clock with 1:34 to go. How about the lead block here by number 16? That's your starting quarterback, Ethan McGlynn.
Well, you can see right there, Ingram stops, puts the Jets
Great
on,
job.
and then there is the quarterback out in front doing his job playing football.
McGlynn heaves one downfield, and it's caught all the way to the 28-yard line. Got the football to Lawson Dixon. And now the U-High Cubs, they are in business after Dixon makes that catch. That had to feel good for him. That's a 33-yard grab. Dixon broke his collarbone in the Rummel game last year, and then he makes the catch again here, and now the Cubs will use a timeout.
Yeah, wearing him out, right?
Timeout.
Like Lawson Dixon, that SLU commit, runs a vertical route, ball's put on the money. He gets underneath the safety and on top of the corner, and right there he runs the quick slant off the RPO. Nicely done, young man.
Dixon is a Southeastern Louisiana commitment. They're really excited that he's back and healthy. You know, he came back at the end of last season and scored 3 touchdowns in the final game of the regular season. 1:04 to go before halftime as U-High tries to put some points on the board. And that last catch is going to be our Guidry's catfish catch of the game.
Well, you can see Dixon gets behind the corner who's trailing. Look, he's in front of the safety. The ball is dropped in perfectly by McGlynn. He goes up and gets it at the high point. Nice catch by Dixon.
Guidry's catfish, feeding your family like ours since 1976. So U-High now 2 timeouts to work with. They have the football at the Rummel 25-yard line. You're looking at 2nd down and 6 for the Cubs. Back to the ground. Tripped up about 2 yards shy of the first down is Sage Ingram. Clock rolling under a minute to go before halftime.
Rummel brings safety blitz to the wide side of the field, but this time in the B gap, it's picked up nicely by the offensive line by University.
U-High 1 of 4 on 3rd down. And the Turf Monster got him. That's unfortunate there for Sage Ingram. Could have been a big gain. He does get enough to get the first down, and now they're inside the Raising Cane's red zone. Raising Cane's, fuel your game day the Cane's way. U-High has to use a timeout with 32 seconds to go before halftime. As you take a look at the U-High marching band that will have an opportunity to perform from the floor of the Caesars Superdome.
U-High has 1 timeout left on the clock, 32 seconds. They can run the ball if they want to, at least 1 time, right? But you're going to have to make sure they get back on the line of scrimmage real quick if they decide to run the ball wherever it may be inside this red zone.
Mason Melanson is their field goal kicker. He made a 38-yarder against Woodlawn last week. Right now, it would be a 35-yard field goal. So it's within his range if they're unable to get into the end zone. 5 plays, 57 yards on this drive. And again, University High has entered the Raising Cane's red zone. McGlynn quickly gets rid of it. And again, the man catching the football or the ball in his hands can't keep on his feet, but Corbin Odell does get the ball all the way into the 7-yard line. U-High getting up to the line of scrimmage. Nick Monaco wants the timeout.
U-High runs a great route right there. It's called a mesh route, XY mesh route, right? He looks at the mesh route. It's covered, talking about McGlynn. He goes to his secondary receiver, which was Corbin Odell, and again, the Turf Monster catches his cleats.
Let's go down to the field and Derry Beckwith. Hey, if Corbin Odell stays on his feet, Derry, is that a touchdown for the U-High Cubs?
It is a touchdown. I've been extremely impressed with U-High offense on this last drive. It's amazing on offensively when you have a sense of urgency, how quickly and how efficient you can move the football. They know they have to get points before the half, and right now they're playing at a high level.
Nick Monica calling the timeout there, Derry. What do you think Nick wants to say to his defense here in the final 22 seconds of this first half?
get out the backfield there in man coverage. And again, we talk about young players using your eyes and being disciplined with your eyes. So a lot of times it is physical, probably 20% physical, but 80% mental. At that time, he got his eyes messed up, and the guy crept out in the backfield and got a completion.
McGlynn lobs one-on-one coverage. Did he get a foot in bounds? Touchdown, Cubs. That's Lawson Dixon. Boy, a little hand fighting there, but no flag, and Ethan McGlynn connects with Lawson Dixon, and an outstanding job by U-High's offense to score a touchdown before halftime.
Boy, Dixon was a huge part of this drive. He finalizes it with a great catch on the fade route in the end zone. Nice throw and catch. McGlynn puts the ball right up, to the spot which would allow Dixon to go up, high point that ball. You're right, they had some hands. No flag. I like the no flag call.
Mason Mawson will try the extra point. Left-footed kicker, snap down, the kick is up, and it's right through the uprights. Great drive by U-High to get some points on the board. An 8-yard touchdown catch by Dixon. 8 plays, 75 yards, a minute 53 off the clock. And this now becomes our smart call of the game, courtesy of Cox Mobile, the smart way for mobile. Learn more at cox.com/mobile. One-on-one coverage there, Wade, and get it to your best receiver in Lawson Dixon.
Well, you can tell they've worked that. You throw that ball out there to that back pylon and allow your receiver to go get it. And it was an excellent placement throw by McGlynn, throwing it out there to that pylon. And then what can we say about Dixon? He had 3 huge catches on that drive. The one to finalize the drive in the end zone. He goes up and high points that thing. Add a little hand fighting. But who's looking at that? Great catch by Dixon.
And McGlynn was really sharp on that drive. 4 of 4 for 56 yards and a touchdown. And U-High will get the ball to begin the second half. So that is a big score right before halftime. Well, I know Nick Monica did not like how his team finished did not like how his team finished the game last week against Lafayette Christian, and probably, and I know it, not happy how they finished off this first half. Flag down.
Encroachment on the kicking team. It's a 5-yard penalty. Retry.
Yeah, that's going to be addressed at halftime, I'm sure. They had a bunch of man coverages that they were using with the little zone coverage on top, man underneath. And a few times, just like Derry said, those guys lost it with their eyes. So they lost the running back out of the backfield. They lost Dixon at a couple of times, which cost the Rummel defense. And I'm sure Nick Monica will address those things. You got to finish a half. You got to finish the end of the game. Look, 5 yards right here on that kickoff helps Rummel, right? Rummel still has 2 timeouts. If they can pop something right here, they might get a shot at least to get them into the point where they can get down into field goal range.
Mawson's kick is going to be returned. Bobble mishandled by the return man. Now trying to make something out of nothing, and look at this. Jaden Terrence is off to the races. Terrence, one man to beat, and he beat him. Touchdown Raiders, no flags. Wow, what a finish here to the first half. 94 yards. Well, that's how you finish the first half if you're the Rummel Raiders.
You know, sometimes when that ball is bobbled back there or you drop the ball, you've heard this for years. Coaches say, well, your coverage team just kind of breaks down and slows down a little bit. And I think that's exactly what happened to University right there, as well as a good dose of Rummel Raider blocking out of their special team kickoff return team.
Vargas will try the extra point, and what a change in momentum there. The disappointment there for the Rummel Raiders to allow U-High to score a touchdown right before half. And then Jaden Terrence. Let me go get it.
You see, right there, you might break down and slow down a little bit right there on your coverage. The guys in white possibly did that, and that allowed Terrence to hit a crease, and he is gone.
96 yards to the end zone. And what a finish to that first half. Derry Beckwith is down on the field with Coach Nick Monica. Take it away, Derry.
Coach Monica, everybody always talks about offense and defense, but we kind of leave our special teams. Take us to that last kickoff return.
Yeah, I think we actually had some miscommunication. I don't know why the returner to the left didn't call him off, but I'm glad he didn't. Just a heck of a play by a really good player.
Defensively, you guys had a great first half, but offensively, you guys were patient. But what would you like to see from this offense to get things going in the second half?
I think the down and distances, the first and goal at the 3-yard line, but with our line and backs, that's got to be 6 points. And then we had a third and short that we don't convert, and that ends up leading to the touchdown. So we have to be able to convert those short down and distances.
I appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half.
Nick Monica and the Rummel Raiders, they lead the U-High Cubs 10-7 here in the Big Easy. Halftime coming up from the Dome when we come back.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be using this. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men, the first of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.particlemen.com. Because seeing is believing.
This is important news for people implanted with a spinal cord stimulator for chronic pain relief that malfunctioned, causing serious complications or even death. The FDA has reported thousands of adverse events. If you've been implanted with a spinal cord stimulator and suffered any of these complications, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you're eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
We saw two scores in the final 17 seconds of the first half, and the Raiders lead the U-High Cubs 10-7. Coming up in our next segment, we'll hear from Tiffany White, who's the CEO of the Louisiana Children's Museum. We look forward to that conversation. But let's enjoy the University High Marching Band performing here at the Caesars Superdome.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in...
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Halftime between Rummel and University High inside the Caesars Superdome, and joining me in the broadcast booth, it's Tiffany White. She's the CEO of the Louisiana Children's Museum. Tiffany, thanks a lot for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I understand that the Louisiana Children's Museum and Cox Communications, they have a partnership when it comes to sustainability and conservation, and there's a big event coming up. Tell us about it.
Yes, so the big event is called Environmental Rescue. It's on September 20th. That's a Saturday, so it's coming up in a couple of weeks here, and we are very, very excited about it. It's an opportunity for Louisiana Children's Museum and Cox, who are aligned on conservation and sustainability, to have a fun event with our visitors. So there will be meeting and greeting the Paw Patrol characters, Sky and Rocky, so everyone will get to meet and greet with them. We'll have lots of activities on composting and gardening. We'll have some activities on can crushing and recycling. We have some partners that are coming in, IV Waste and Hey Cafe, and they're going to be doing recycling activities and composting activities. Just lots of fun all the way around.
Is there an e-cycling opportunity out there for folks?
Yes, and that's one of my favorites because a lot of people have these small electronics that are just around and they don't know what to do with them. And this provides a great time for you to recycle those in the proper way. So Cox will be recycling small electronics like modems and routers and old cell phones and TV remotes and stereo remotes and keyboards and mices and all of those kinds of things.
I have a bunch of stuff that I can get recycled. It sounds like I need to go to this event. Tell us about what you are most proud of the partnership between Cox Communication and the Louisiana Children's Museum.
I am most proud that this is the third year that we have the honor of working with Cox Communication on this amazing event. It's always a great time for families to enjoy together. It's a special event for us. A lot of great energy around the museum that day. And you know, Cox is not only aligned with making the world a better place and allowing our little learners to embrace sustainability and learning how to create a greener environment for our community. Cox also is a great supporter of nonprofits like Louisiana Children's Museum. They've been in the community for a long time and giving back for a long time. So we are just super excited and feel honored to be able to work with Cox Communication again this year on environmental rescue.
Well, tell us about the Louisiana Children's Museum, where it's located, and all the fun things that you have for kids and adults.
Yes, so Louisiana Children's Children's Museum is in City Park now. You know, a lot of people think it used to be on Julia Street. Well, it's in City Park now, and it's a great location, a natural space, a park. It's at 15 Henry Thomas Drive, if you want the address. Our website is lcm.org, so we have lots of information there. And Louisiana Children's Museum is doing lots of great things. You know, one of the big things that we heard in the past 2 or 3 years is that people feel like their children are outgrowing the Children's Museum, or, you know, maybe their children are too old. Well, we're now aging up. So we have teenagers that are there that will be in a program, and they'll be working in the museum and earning a stipend as a result, learning how to facilitate programs with the younger children. They'll be helping us to build an exhibit, especially for tweens. So the big thing is Louisiana Children's Museum is aging up. The other thing is, you know, we want to be more accessible. We want to make sure that every child in New Orleans and the region can attend the Children's Museum. So we have lots of programs that allow you to either come in free of charge or at a reduced rate. So we really just want to be open to our community and make sure everyone has accessibility to it.
Tell us about the website and what they can find on there.
So lcm.org is the website, and they can find lots of great information about this event, which is on September the 20th, Saturday, but also all the other great things we have going on. And our handles for social is Louisiana Kids.
That's great. Tiffany, thanks a lot for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Tiffany White. She's the CEO of the Louisiana Children's Museum. We're at halftime between University High and Rummel. More from the Caesar Superdome when we come back.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Start of a big weekend of football in New Orleans tonight. You have this doubleheader in the Superdome following this game tonight. It's going to be Edna Carr against American Heritage. Tulane taking on Duke tomorrow, I should say. Yeah, I think it is a night game at Yulman Stadium. And then, of course, the Saints will be taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Jeff Lermo and Wade Kaiser here. Good first half, a tight first half, low scoring, a lot of running the football. But, man, it got explosive there at the end. 2 touchdowns in the final 17 seconds, and Rummel has a 10-7 lead over the Cubs.
Well, we knew we were going to see 2 good defenses tonight, and it's shown up in this first half, right? We knew we were going to see running game, too. We've seen that. We didn't expect to see a kickoff return like that, but I tell you, he was shot out of a rifle, right? That was exciting.
Let's look at our first half highlights as running the football, big part of it here for the Rummel Raiders. And this is Corian. Actually, that was Jaden Terrence with a nice run.
Tyler Holden gets the ball out. Pass is complete there to Mark Sheeby. And then the field goal, that will be good from 21 yards out by Vargas, and Rummel took a 3-0 lead. Pass over the middle to Kirby Cade, but U-High making it really tough on these Rummel running backs, but every now and then Terrence would get loose. Nice run there around the left end. University High really didn't do much offensively, but this play sparked them to pass down to Lawson Dixon.
Yeah, he had 3 big ones. Here's another one for the touchdown to kind of end the offensive drive for University. And then here we go. Watch the blocking. Watch Terrence hit a crease, and he is off to the races. Nobody's catching that guy.
Let's take a look at our statistics for this one. All the scoring occurred in the second quarter.
Well, look at the rushing yards, right? I think Nick Monica and his offensive staff felt that, those numbers need to be better in the first half. They've had a couple penalties. They broke down on a couple of third downs. They're going to need to improve that in the second half. You can see, I'm talking about the Cubs. I'm talking about University right there with
Andy
23
Martin,
yards, right, and Andy Martin. Over there for the Raiders, 85 yards. You look at that, they've expected that. They still want to improve that because they have to run the ball the second half in order to be successful.
Those were the Cox Fast Stats, giving football fans all the latest stats courtesy of Cox. Learn more at cox.com/internet. 10-7 is our score at halftime. From the Caesars Superdome, the Rummel Raiders leading the U-High Cubs in this Week 2 matchup. We'll be back after this on Game Time.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction. That's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Hi folks, welcome back. If you or someone you know has been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you now suffer from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you could be entitled to significant cash compensation. Rob, who should be calling in right now?
Just like you said, Paula, if you or someone you know have been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you are now suffering from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you may be entitled to significant compensation.
Thanks, Rob. Take action and call now.
Second half will be starting here momentarily from New Orleans as the Rummel Raiders leading the U-High Cubs 10-7. U-High will get the ball to begin the second half. U-High trying to go 2-0 on the season after beating Woodlawn of Baton Rouge last week, while the Rummel Raiders trying to rebound from a tough loss last week against Lafayette Christian. Next week, it's the Raising Cane's
box combo game of the week preview. Alexandria Senior High taking on Destrehan live next Friday at 7 p.m. only on YurView, Cox Cable Channel 4. Your Raising Cane's box combo game of the week preview. Fuel your game day the Canes way. The Trojans will have an extra day to prepare for this game because they played last night, beating up on Union Parish 57-0. Of course, Ash, they made it all the way to the Division I Select State Championship game last year. And man, did they look really good last night against U-High. Here on the return, this is Kason Williams, able to get there defensively, trying a field goal there for Union, and that didn't go. And then Alex Fontenot, the junior wide receiver, this kid is really talented, outrunning the Union Parish for another score. Just one quarterback for Ash this year. This is Jakire Griffin, 49 yards after he got the pass from Carson Sellers. And, yeah, everybody doing backflips for the Trojans. Here on the punt return, this is Kason Williams. He's just a sophomore, 6'1", 190 pounds. Now going to work, the quarterback, Carson Sellers, throwing it deep, and he hits Fontenot for the easy score. Alex Fontenot, block punt there. 3 phases working tonight, or last night in that game for Alexandria Senior High. Fired up about that block punt was Latravius Williams. And, yeah, more just problems there for Union Parish. They go to their backup quarterback, Kadrian Vaughn, handing the football off to Levon Mays. 57 push-ups before it was all said and done there for Alexandria Senior High. So we'll see them next week over in St. Charles Parish as they'll be taking on the Destrehan Wildcats. Let's send it down to the field. Terry Beckwith had a chance to catch up with U-High coach Andy Martin.
Guys, Andy Martin was not really pleased in the first half offensively, but he's really excited what they're able to do before that first half and how well they executed. So look for them to come out in the second half with more no-huddle offense and try to get this defense for Rummel off balance, and obviously give them the big touchdown right before the half was inexcusable. He said that's something they have to work on. Hope they get that corrected in the second half. So it should be an exciting second half for both teams.
U-High's first 3 drives tonight, 12 plays, 41 yards. They only had 3 first downs, but that last drive where they ran the 2-minute offense, nicely done. 8 plays, 75 yards, and they picked up 4 first downs. So Rummel will kick it off to U-High to begin the second half. There will be a second game here tonight. If you're just joining us here on Game Time and wondering why we're starting the second half, we kicked off at 6 o'clock. Where were you?
on the way to the dome.
Yeah. Right. Coming up tonight, Edna Carr will be taking on American Heritage. And if you want to watch that game, it will be streamed on Crescent City Sports. Wade Kaiser will
doing double duty tonight.
Yeah, you're doing double duty. You'll move 2 booths down. They're getting ready for that broadcast. That should be a fantastic game between Edna Carr and American Heritage.
A lot of Division I prospects running around on that field tonight for both teams, American Heritage and Edna Carr.
So back to receive. It's Moses and Ingram for U-High. And this is going to be Moses from the 1. Has a little bit of a wall in front of him. Bounces off a couple tacklers, still on his feet. Can he turn the corner here? Well, he'll get thrown down to the turf at the 31-yard line. Some pushing at the end of that one on the tackle for the Raiders. It was Chris Parker, a senior defensive back. Andy Martin, a quick word there for Emmanuel Moses, telling him to check the emotions. 30-yard return, and so the U-High Cubs, who had just 116 yards of total offense, back out on the field. Starting quarterback for U-High, Ethan McGlynn, 7 of 8 for 93 yards. 3 of those completions to Lawson Dixon, who had 45 yards receiving and a touchdown. They pitch it to the outside, hurdling and then losing the football, and it's a turnover. The Raiders have it. Carlin Kitchen takes it all the way to the 21-yard line. Big play on special teams for Rummel, and now a big play defensively, but there is a flag down at the 43-yard line.
Wow, a lot going on that play, right? You get great blocking at the point of attack. You get a great hit at the point of attack, and then you get the ball bouncing around on the carpet and a return by the defense. I think they're going to be looking at something behind the line of scrimmage here, most probably a hold.
Personal foul, hurdling on University Lab. That penalty is declined. Rummel's ball, first down.
It was a hold on a University High player. See if we can see it right there, maybe by the right tackle. Number 51, Jogan Pinnock, looked like he didn't let go. And then you look at the hit coming right here. Oh, he takes his feet out, ball gets hit again, and it's out on the ground. And then there you go. Picked up by Kitchen, who has a nice return, and the Raiders are in business.
So, Wade, the penalty
that was
there,
a hurdle.
They called penalty on Sage Ingram for hurdling, and that's illegal in high school football.
Saw a hold, saw a hurdle. Federation rules, you're absolutely right, partner. You have a, when you do hurdle, it is a safety issue in the Federation that they're going to call. I haven't seen it called many times, and I've seen a lot of hurdling.
I've seen some guys hurdle.
I've seen a lot of hurdling, right.
And that one was out in the open.
Yep. In 34 years, I saw a lot of hurdling. I was screaming about it. That's the reason why I didn't think they were going to call that. I saw the hold by Pinnock. I'm sorry, Mr. Pinnock. I didn't mean to call your name saying that you had a 15-yard penalty for holding, right? It would have been 10 yards from the previous spot, but
I think that was Chris Parker who jarred that ball loose at the 19-yard line now here for the Raiders. They got their both stud running backs in the backfield. There's Terrence. Terrence escorted out of bounds at the 6. And the guy that made that hit, it was Chris Parker. Now there's a penalty here at the 16.
We knew we were going to see some Wildcats sometime tonight, and there you go. They open up the second half in their first drive. Probably a hold in the backfield by number 52, I think, is who they're going to call on this.
That would be Jaden Dillon, the senior offensive lineman. And now another flag flies.
That's going to be dead ball, personal foul.
Uh-oh.
Somebody in the huddle said something to the official.
Holding on the offense, number 52. We also have dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 52. Both penalties will be assessed.
Well, you gotta check the
yeah.
emotions there.
Right.
Watch the left of the screen.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's a 2-point takedown in any wrestling arena. Absolutely, a WWE there. Then he gets back to the huddle, and he has something that he says. He loses his poise, and he's being taken off the field, and Nick Monica will get that straight, I'm sure.
Well, they gave him a stare there as he came off the field. Yeah, that was, I mean, here it is. All the momentum in the world behind Rummel. They had the ball, excellent field position, and now you're looking at first down and 35 all the way back to the 41-yard line.
Let's remember, Jeff, they're going to mark off the live penalty and then the dead ball penalty. That's the reason why they have the Uber ride for the first down.
So they'll run the football here once again with Terrence, and Terrence is on a heater at this point. You can't bring this guy down. He gets a lot of those yards back all the way to the 24-yard line.
Again, they run the stretch outside. Look at all the offensive linemen. It looks like elephants on parade with Disney, right? You got big guys taking those big steps to the right, getting their hands on a body, and just allowing that running back to stretch the ball outside, finally put his foot in the ground and get north and south. And that was Terrence just running it from the Wildcat position.
And he got a good block from Corian Hawkins. So Terrence, again, looks like he's set to take the snap. It's very tough for the opposing defense to figure out who's going to get it. Terrence got it. He was able to shed one defender, but couldn't get away from the second and third U-High Cub defender that was able to bring him down. Now you're looking at 3rd and long. You're also looking, if they don't pick up another yard, you're looking at about a 40-yard field goal. So at least get some yards here to make it a little bit easier on Vargas when it comes to a field goal. But 3rd and 15, let's see what they decide to do.
Well, they're going to bring the quarterback on, Holden. And they'll move Terrence back to running back.
Holden looking to his left. Flag flies. They've set up the screen, and he's not going to even get back to the line of scrimmage. You see the flags down at the 22. Great job by the U-High defense. Leading the charge once again, Lane Mixon for the Cubs. Let's see, they might decline this penalty if it was an illegal procedure penalty on Rummel.
That was a check down by Holden. He just dumped that ball out to Terrence. Here's our call.
Illegal formation on the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
Yeah, somebody didn't get on the line of scrimmage. They probably only had 6 on the line of scrimmage. But again, they dumped the ball off to Terrence out in the flat. He's looking for the verticals down the field. It's all covered up. Great job by the University secondary to cover the verticals. He checks it down. Nice job by Holden. Just nowhere to go with the ball because that's how fast that University High defense converges and pursues.
Nick Monica told us Vargas can make it from about 47. This would be 43 to give Rummel a 6-point lead. Flat, and it's blocked, but there was a whistle. There was a flag. And it's going to be 5 more yards again marked off by Rummel. Boy, what just a discombobulated drive here for Rummel.
False start on the offense, number 52. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay, 4th down.
Yeah, pre-snap penalties will kill you, but what also will kill you will be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct talking back to an official. So it's been a combination of things on this drive for the Raiders.
I think they're going to bring the offense back on the field.
Yeah, I think that's a little far for his distance. Coach Monica was telling us this week, about where they could go and where he was kicking and has been kicking from in practice. So they'll bring the offense back on and take a shot at it.
3 penalties for 26 yards. They only had 2 penalties in the first half. 3 penalties on this drive. So here we go. Holden will throw one deep, but way over the head of his receiver. Seemed like there was miscommunication there. And that is a rough drive there for Rummel. They were in position to potentially go up by 2 scores. Instead, we still got a 3-point game from inside the Superdome.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Back in the Superdome, Jeff Palermo, along with Wade Kaiser, Derry Beckwith. U-High has run a couple plays on this drive, and they're facing 3rd down and 1 at the 40. Now this is Odell, and Odell's going to lose yards. Great job by Rummel. Kingsley Barconi. Also there, Jacoby Dunn. And they lose about 2, and it's going to force U-High to punt.
They're trying to run quarterback power off tackle with 2 lead blockers out front called sniffers, right? And Rummel's going to have nothing of it. So you see Barconi get there, and he just lights everything up.
Well, disappointing drive there for U-High. That drive was much like what we saw in the first half until their final drive of the first half when they scored a touchdown. And a fake! And U-High's going to pick up the first down and march more. This is Lawson Dixon all the way to the 22-yard line.
Boy, is he having a night.
39 yards for the Southeastern Louisiana commitment, and the Cubs are in business.
Bunch of catches, and now he gets a fake punt for a conversion, and he moves the chains. That could be the spark that University needs here in the 3rd quarter.
It was only 4th down and 2. Their defense had just come up with a stop. And Ethan McGlynn back out there offensively for the Cubs. He'll have a long, that's a forward. Was that a forward pass? Man, even though he underhanded it, it certainly looked like it went forward to Odell, but it's going to be, they'll say it's at least side. Let's take a look at this. He's going to flip it from the 27. That's a forward pass. That should be an incomplete pass. Instead, It's a loss of 3.
Yeah, that's definitely forward.
Raiders will take it. Now a little movement at the line of scrimmage, but no flag.
He didn't break the line of scrimmage, didn't break the zone of the football.
McGlynn gets rid of it quickly and incomplete. Trying to get it to Cade Minshew. Minshew, a senior. And now Ethan McGlynn, the senior QB for the Cubs, facing 3rd down and 13. Right now you're looking at a 42-yard field goal if U-High doesn't pick up another yard. 2 for 6 on 3rd down. That pass is going to be incomplete to Odell. Well, that pass was there on their touchdown drive. They ran it the other way, but that time the Raiders had 2 defenders on Corbin Odell.
Yeah, one of them was Kingsley Marconi doing a nice job. That time, keeping his eyes where it needed to be with the back coming out of the backfield on the rail.
So Melanson will try to tie it again, a 42-yard field goal. Lefty kicker, he made a couple field goals in the Jamboree. 38-yarder last week against Woodlawn. Does it have the distance? It does. And it is good, and we are all tied up. A big special teams play on a fake punt sets up the 42-yard field goal made by Mason Melanson, and we're all tied up at 10.
Great kick right there. He had all the leg he needed and more to get that thing through those uprights.
Tonight's game on YurView, brought to you by Guidry's Catfish. Guidry's Catfish, feeding your family like ours since 1976. Also brought to you by OSPT, Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy, helping you move freely, live fully. By Elevation Station, a place for non-stop action and family fun. Elevation Station. And by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. 6:32 to go before we go to the fourth quarter. 10-10 is our game. We were expecting a tight one. Another mishandle. This time it goes in the end zone. And this time it's not going to be a 97-yard kickoff return for Mr. Terrence. He's going to be stopped inside his own 5-yard line.
Well, University High got that straight at halftime, right? Okay, so you don't stop running, and it's exactly what the guys in white did that time. Those guys ran through and to the end zone, and that's what you teach your kickoff team. You do not slow down until you get to that particular point. Looks like we're having a powwow.
Yes.
And I know what they're talking about. They're talking about, did the ball go into the end zone? Did it carry him in? We saw the ball in the end zone, but in Federation rules, it's supposed to be a dead ball unless it's carried into the end zone by the receiver.
So I think this is going to be put on the 20-yard line, right?
Well, let's see. Yes, it looks like.
Yep. And so a break there for the Rummel Raiders. Let's send it down to the field and Derry Beckwith. And Derry, what's it like trying to field a kickoff or a punt here in the Superdome? Much different than what you would have at Joe Yenny Stadium.
It's a lot of bright lights. So when these guys look up, obviously, I think they go blind a little bit because I'm looking up right now and I can't see anything. I'm seeing double. So I can only imagine how tough it is. And when you catch punts and kickoffs, people don't understand how great of a skill you have to do that. It's phenomenal that these guys are able to field the ball.
Absolutely correct. If you don't practice this thing on a daily basis in a big space like this, it really can trick you.
Terrence, they run the option, and the ball is on the ground. Flag is on the ground, too. And I think somehow the Rummel Raiders got back on that ball. Corian Hawkins got it before Lamar Brown could get there.
Rummel lucks out again right there. They put the ball on the ground, and they have the flag. We're waiting to see what that's going to be. But I tell you, a lot of miscues right now here in this third quarter for the Rummel Raiders.
Holding on the offense, number 75. That penalty is declined. Second down.
Michael Smith commits the penalty. Let's look at it. Number 75, he's on the right hand. Oh, yeah, that was a hold on Lamar Brown. I still don't know how Rummel was able to get their hands to it. I mean, there were a lot of white jerseys there, but Hawkins got there.
The only way you can block Lamar Brown is maybe hold the guy, right? That's what type of football player he is. Had they completed the pitch, he might have had some running room out there on the flank because they had everything blocked well.
Second down and 12, running straight ahead into Lamar Brown. And only a gain of a yard there for Corian Hawkins. So 3rd and 11. So because we're playing indoors in September and we do have a hydration timeout, you get to see more of Lamar Brown playing both ways. There is also a U-High Cub injured. We'll check on Caden Sims-Grassi when we come back.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Sims-Grassi was able to jog off on his own power. Rummel facing 3rd down and 11. The Raiders 2 for 7 on 3rd downs. Jeff Palermo, Wade Kaiser, and Terry Beckwith. See if Tyler Holden can make a play here for the Raiders. It's been a very sloppy third quarter for Rummel. Gets the ball to Terrence. He's going to have to make a couple guys miss, and he's going to be dragged up. That's going to be a face mask. And again, the Rummel Raiders are going to get bailed out by a face mask penalty. Aaron Moore may have been the guy that committed the penalty. We'll see here from our official.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense, number 8. That's a 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run.
So that's actually going to be on DJ Coleman, and that was pretty easy to call.
Yeah, Coleman just doesn't let go, so it's the 15-yard variety, right? Personal foul. So they're going to move it up. Rummel gets a little knock on wood, a little luck right there again, which is kind of what they've had here in the third quarter.
7th first down for Rummel tonight, and that's the 2nd first down that they've been able to get as a result of a face mask penalty against the Cubs. So a fresh set of downs here for Rummel. They'll keep Tyler Holden out on the field. Terrence is to the right of him. Terrence will get the football. Terrence will get around the edge. And he's into U-High territory before getting hit hard out of bounds at the 43 by Emmanuel Moses. Really good game tonight from Jaden Terrence.
Yeah, Terrence gets loose again on the outside, but if you can watch number 3 on the crack block right there, does a nice job. Kirby Cade blocking outside on the boundary. Gotta love to see wide receivers block, right? Out there on the boundary. Sure, they can catch the football. Sure, they can run routes. But can they block? Blocking is what gets you to the money, right? It's like putting for dough.
1st and 10 at the 44. Nice job by Kirby Cade getting that big block. Little misdirection here, and another flag flies. Terrence gets a first down, but it's probably coming back.
Counter play. He bounces it outside. Everything gets jammed up inside by UI. They smell it. Nice job by the defense, but that's going to come back probably on a hold.
Holding on the offense, number 56. It's a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, first down.
Yeah, they held somebody, but you can see a bunch of blue jerseys up there grabbing jerseys. 77 right there has a hold. 56 has a hold. 55 has a hold. Everybody has a hold. You want a hold? You have a hold? A lot of holding going on up there. But I'll tell you what, when you're playing defensive linemen like University Highs, that might be the only way you can block those guys, right? Grab out and grab a jersey. That's how big and how fast they are.
So 4 penalties now in this half for 37 yards. Let's send it down to the field, Derry Beckwith. What do you think of this U-High defensive line? We're getting to see a lot of Lamar Brown tonight. I'm sure you've been keeping an eye on number 55 for the Cubs, Derry.
I've noticed the same thing they did with Lamar Brown last year. In the second half, when it's money time, they put him on defense. And like you guys said, he's very explosive off the ball. He uses his hands so well, it's just impossible to block that guy. Can you imagine going to math class all day long? You have to worry about fighting that to come block Lamar Brown. Extremely difficult task.
Pass is complete to Micah Green. Of course, Lamar Brown heading to LSU. Micah Green is the son of Skylar Green, the former LSU Tiger on that great 2003 national championship team. 2nd down and 9 here for the Raiders.
The other thing, if you watch Lamar Brown play, he doesn't only just play with his athleticism, he is really good with technique. Does a nice job. He is coached up.
And there he is. On cue, making a tackle. He was able to shed his block, and he makes the play there, a loss of a couple yards.
Well, they pinch him that time from the wide side of the field. Watch him pinch down right there. You see him come all the way down
great.
2 gaps. He sheds 3 blockers like he's playing the piano. And that's what a good defensive line coach teaches. When you shed, it's like playing a piano. Bounce off of one, bounce off the other. He comes right down the line of scrimmage and makes a great play.
Comes out of the game as U-High gets more of their pass rushers in. Raiders got 3rd down and 10 here from the U-High 44. They pick up the blitz, the pass over the middle, wide open, complete for a 1st down. Nathaniel Singleton, a flag flies at the end. Might have been a targeting penalty. 21 yards.
They pick up the blitz nicely. They're in a 3-deep coverage with zone linebackers setting up in front of the 3-deep coverage. They run the curl route right behind the linebacker, and the ball's delivered on time by Holden for a great pickup.
The officials will get together here and make sure everyone saw the same thing.
There's no penalty on the play.
Good job by the refs to talk about it and see if there was targeting, and no, there should not be targeting on that. That's a clean tackle by Emmanuel Moses. Great job by our officiating crew from New Orleans.
Well, it takes a lot for an officiating crew to walk out there. Great job conferring with each other, and as you said, picking the flag up when it deemed necessary.
Singleton's 2nd catch of the night. Now Rummel to the U-High 23-yard line. Hawkins will get to about the 20. Jordan Pinnock, who is heading to ULF yet, made the tackle there, and they have now made it inside the Raising Cane's red zone. The Raising Cane's red zone, Rummel Raiders and the U-High Cubs all tied up at 10. Raising Cane's, fuel your game day the Cane's way. 2nd down and 7. Hawkins, patience, might have the 1st down. DJ Coleman stopped him actually a half a yard shy. 3rd and short here for Rummel.
You had the right word there, patient. If you watch the counter as he gets up inside, he could easily bounce to the outside, but the pursuit would have ran him down, correct? What does he do? He just stays in there, presses the hole on the counter. Watch it right here. Watch how he'll press the hole right there and picks up 3-4 more yards into the secondary for the Raiders.
Good block by Kirby Cade. 3rd down and 1. Hawkins to the left. Terrence will keep it. Terrence to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Rummel! Flag, though, and it looks like it's probably coming back.
Yeah, they're going to get the wide receiver. Didn't get the number out here on the boundary, just at about the 4-yard line, keeping his hands on the defender.
That negates a 14-yard touchdown run for Jaden Terrence. Nick Monica, I don't know if he likes to call.
Right there in front of you, you see the jersey getting stretched. Once that jersey starts getting stretched by Michael Green, you're going to get that call every time out there. It's in front of everybody, and it's going to come back.
But since it happened 10 yards downfield, you're still looking at a 3rd and 1.
Correct.
Again, the two superstar running backs in the backfield together. Terrence got to get away from that backside, and he does, and he stays on his feet this time, and it's going to be a Rummel touchdown. And there is another flag. My goodness. I think a receiver gets called for holding again.
On the offense, number 8. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay, 3rd down.
I think they're going to get Mark Sheeby this time. There it is right there, number 8. Got to let go of that jersey. That is out in public, right? I mean, that's like out on the middle of Canal Street committing the hold. Young man, you don't need to hold your arms out. You held them. They got you.
So now the ball spotted at the 19. You're looking at 3rd and 6.
But let me say this about holding with those defensive linemen from University.
Yeah.
They're that good, and that's the only way you can possibly slow some of those guys down. So you're grabbing and grasping anything you can possibly get your hands a hold of.
7 plays, and now we got a timeout by Rummel.
Timeout.
Had 7 penalties in the first half, and we've exceeded that here in the second half, and we're not even done with the third quarter. 10-10 our score as Nick Monica brings the guys over, send it down to the field, and Derry Beckwith. And Derry Beckwith, what's the deal with all these holding penalties?
It's frustrating to watch because when they have Hawkins and Terrence in the backfield, it puts UI defense in a bad situation. And what I mean by that everybody has a man. Everybody has a hat on a hat. And so that allows the runner to just make one guy miss. And obviously, I would like those running backs and take that challenge every time against one guy because they'll make a miss. But they're missing all these opportunities. They're in a perfect scheme. UI can't stop it. But it's a simple holding calls. And it kind of reminded me back in the day with Arkansas. They called it the Wild Hog with Darren McFadden and Felix Jones. Every guy was accounted for. So if McFadden was one-on-one with me, who you think they win that matchup? Probably me, right? No. No, McFadden will win. It's the same thing with these Rummel running backs. They're trying to get them one-on-one matchups, and they are winning it. They just can't stop holding jerseys.
Jaden Terrence has 122 yards rushing tonight for Rummel, following up that 141-yard rushing performance last week against Lafayette Christian. He got a majority of those yards on the first drive of the night when he went 80 yards for a touchdown. He's got a 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Holden throws, passes there, touchdown Rummel! No flags that time. Beautifully done. Caught by Mark Sheeby. There's going to be flags all over for the excessive celebration, but they do get the touchdown. He can't spin the football in the end zone. We're playing in an NFL stadium, but those type of actions are not allowed on the high school level. But a beautiful throw by Tyler Holden, 19 yards to Mark Shesby.
The touchdown will stand at the end of the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct on number 8 of the offense. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Well, great catch. Counter boot, right? They brought a blitz talking about the University defense. They're locked up in man. Shesby gets behind safety that was covering him. Ball's laid out for him by Holden, touchdown, right? You just can't get up and say something, spin the ball. This is Federation High School football, not the NFL.
Extra point is good. Rummel scored 3 touchdowns on that drive, but only one of them counted, and it was a pretty one.
Counter boot, there's the counter, there's the boot, and there's Shesby behind the safety. Ball's laid out nicely, set up perfectly by the Rummel offense. Great throw by Holden. Great catch by Shesby. You just can't do this. in high school.
So 17-10 Rummel. That penalty will be enforced here on the kickoff. So that should give U High some decent field position here, as they'll now be kicking from its own 25-yard line.
Yeah, look, all of that stuff will get addressed. There's no doubt. That guy right there rubbing his head, I know exactly what he's going to do this week when he gets back to practice, right? Win or lose, it doesn't matter. Things like that are going to get addressed, and that's the way the Rummel program, operates.
12 plays, 80 yards, 4 minutes and 44 seconds off the clock, and they were able to overcome the back-to-back holding penalties. There were 30 yards in penalties against Rummel in that drive.
Look, next week they line up with Archbishop Shaw for the megaphone game, and then they open up in district the next week in the Catholic League, and you just can't carry those type of penalties at any time, especially when you're moving into Catholic League play.
Yeah, they got John Curtis after they play Shaw. Moses will not be able to handle it. He picks it up at the 1. He should have just let it go in the end. Oh, his foot hit the goal line. That might be a break there for U High because it results in a touchback. I tell you, we have seen some interesting things in this third quarter, Wade. Good kick, though, by the Rummel kicker, Robert Vargas.
And look, it's not over yet. We still got a minute 33. I mean, it's been an interesting third quarter, to say the least.
Well, when you see a hurdling penalty, you know you're in for an interesting quarter.
Look. For 34 years, I have argued a hurdling penalty. Never got the call.
Yeah.
Right? So here I am retired, away from coaching, and I finally see one in a football game, in a Federation high school football game.
From the 20, U High goes to work. Lawson Dixon's had a big night, running away from these Raider defenders, and then he goes down for a loss of 5. Coming in there and laying a big hit was Russ Lewis. They'll give him forward progress to the 17, so a loss of 3, but well defended by the Raiders out in the flat.
Look at big Russ Lewis chugging over here. Here he comes. Should have had missed the block in the back right there. And then comes in Lewis and cleans things up.
McGlynn is 8 of 11 for 90 yards and a touchdown. McGlynn looking to his left. The bubble screen they wanted to set up, and this is going nowhere. A huge loss on that play. Chasing down Mixon from behind. That was Gavin Cooper. Or I should say Dixon, Chasing Dixon from behind was Gavin Cooper, and the Cubs have been going backwards here on this drive.
Yeah, Rummel smelled that out. They slant their 3-man front to the wide side of the field, and they bring their backside overhang linebacker off the backside edge from the short side, and the bubble screen runs right into everything in a light blue jersey.
3rd down and 24. They're just going to try to run it, get some yards, and they only get a few. That will likely be our final play of the third quarter.
Both teams want to get rid of this third quarter right now. 5 seconds left.
But Rummel has a touchdown lead. We saw a little bit of everything. A fake punt. We saw plenty of penalties.
That is the end of the third quarter.
We saw a hurdling call, and we've seen a lot of Jaden Terrence. There's that hurdling call. A good touchdown pass, though, thrown by Tyler Holden to Mark Chesby, and that's the difference in this one as we go into the fourth.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Do you want a full body workout that stretches, strengthens, and builds your cardio? Then I have a solution for you. Hi, I'm Leslie Sokol, the creator and founder of the Adult Dance and Fitness TV show for the young at heart. Join in with me weekly on your YurView channel and get a great workout. Check your local TV listings. Let's get fit together.
Despite Rummel committing 6 penalties in that third quarter, they actually expanded their lead here in the fourth quarter. And they lead it by a touchdown, and they're about ready to get the ball back. Melanson's punt is not a good one. And then it takes a Rummel bounce, and U-High downs it at the 35, so the Cubs defense needs to come up with a big stand here. Nick Monica's going to be telling his guys, let's play smart football now here in the final 12 minutes of this one.
Well, what he said is we don't want any holding penalties, right?
Right, yeah, right.
I'm sure that was addressed on the boundary. Look, keep your hands where they're supposed to be, but when you are outside in the middle of everybody, you got to let go of the jersey. You just can't stretch the white jersey in front of you.
Tyler Holden, after throwing that touchdown pass, heads back out onto the field with his offense. They're really glad to get Raymond Hughes back. You saw him, number 77 for Rummel. He's just a sophomore at 6'4", 320 pounds. In a couple years, boy, oh boy, he'll be one of the best offensive linemen in the country. Nice tackle there from U-High. Bradley Goodson making the stop on Jaden Terrence. A gain of 2.
Yeah, Raymond Hughes, they say he's going to be one of the best offensive linemen in the city in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
He's been suffering with shoulder problems.
Right.
Actually, the labrum is, and you know, the guys and the training staff there at Rummel, those guys seem to think the thing's been torn for a while. Sooner or later, he might have to have it worked on.
2nd down and 8 again. Did not play last week or in the jamboree or scrimmage. Nice hole up the middle here for Hawkins, and he's got a ball comes out. Was he down? Yes, he was. They'll spot it down at the 20-yard line. That's a 13-yard run for Corian Hawkins.
They run the power. I want everybody to see if we get the replay. Watch number 52, right up on the linebacker. Look at this block right there. He comes around, he scoops around the center, gets up to the second level, and gets full body on the linebacker. He's pumped up at the end of that play. I would be too, young man, if I was you as an offensive lineman getting up to that linebacker and blocking him the way you just did.
Remember, Jaden Dillon was the one that got hit with the 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. He actually graded out very well last week against Lafayette Christian. Comes up with a key block there. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Go right back up the middle again. Hawkins inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Rummel.
Running the ball in between the tackles. That's where the pay dirt is, right, for the Rummel Raiders. We talked about it in the first half that they were going to have to take control of the line of scrimmage. Look at the counter blocking. There's the kick out. There's the seal. Right up the A-gap. There goes Hawkins into the end zone for the Raiders. No holding penalty that time.
13-point lead for Rummel. On for the extra point. Robert Montalvo Vargas. Low kick, but good. And Rummel is taking control. That was just a 3-play, 35-yard drive, 1:37 off the clock.
Look at the counter action. Look at the size of the hole. I think I could have ran through that hole. That was huge. But there was domination up front. They got up to the second level. They got a body on both linebackers. That opens it up for your running backs on the counter to be able to get into the secondary. We have a flag on the play.
The extra point is good. At the end of the play, dead ball, personal foul, number 55 of the offense. That penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
Oh boy, more penalty issues for the Rummel Raiders.
That was Carmelo Bolt with that personal foul penalty. I'm sure there was a shove, some sort of extracurricular going on right after the PAT.
Next week on the LHSAA Network, Game of the Week on Thursday night. It's also going to be shown here on YurView. You can check it out on YouTube, but if you want to watch it on YurView on Cox Cable Channel 4, Liberty taking on Lutcher. That'll be at 7 o'clock Thursday, September 18th. Looking forward to that one. At Olympia Stadium in Baton Rouge. Kickoff going to be taken at the 16. This is going to be Ingram. Ingram all the way up to the 41. Another flag flies.
Wow, these guys are going to have to ice down after this ball game, right? A lot of flags in the second half.
And well, let's get the call here first.
Holding on the return team, number 30. It's a 10-yard penalty. The University Labs ball, first down.
So this puts the ball back at the 21-yard line. Send it down to Derry Beckwith as this Rummel running game with Corian Hawkins and Jaden Terrence really flexing its muscle in the second half.
They're doing a great job. What they're doing, they're reading the linebackers as soon as they get the ball. They stretch it outside, and they see the linebackers stretch out with them. They cut up the middle, and then sometimes when they get the football and they see the linebackers stay stationary, they know to bounce it outside. So that's why they're having success running the football tonight against this UI defense in the second half.
Lawson Dixon made the catch there as McGlynn got rid of it before some backside pressure. Rummel's rushed for 170 yards in this contest. 6.5 yards a carry. Second down and 5. McGlynn to the air, down by 2 touchdowns, and there is Lawson Dixon again. Coverage applied by Mitchell Harris, and he pushes him out of bounds. Coming up after this one, it's going to be Edna Carr versus American Heritage from Plantation, Florida. And again, you can watch that game at CrescentCitySports.com. They'll have the stream of the game. And right now, McGlynn and Dixon are playing pitch and catch out there as they're moving up the field.
Yeah, Dixon having a huge night. He runs great routes, right? He comes out of his route. He doesn't round things off. He's sharp. Ball's delivered on time, which is really nice to see by McGlynn getting it there, especially on those out routes.
Second down and 3 from the 48. Low snap, McGlynn gets rid of it again. And guess who? Lawson Dixon. You think these two got a connection?
Absolutely. You got to watch for Mitchell Harris now tightening up a little bit out there on him, because he's going to want to start nosing around and try to pick the ball, look for the double move, possibly by Dixon.
Well, that time miscommunication. Well, I said they had this great connection, and then all of a sudden there was a misconnection there.
Because there was your double move.
Yeah.
That was your double move right there, and played well by Mitchell Harris, the corner for the Rummel Raiders out there. Ball was just off cue, obviously, by McGlynn.
9 catches for 61 yards for Lawson Dixon. Again, Dixon broke his collarbone in this game a year ago and then missed most of the season from the 39-yard line. Second down and 10. Pump fake. McGlynn will now loft one in the direction of Dixon, and it's 3rd and 9. Of course, go ahead.
Trying a little post-rail combination. Inside receiver, the slot, trying to run a rail, and the Dixon, the wide receiver, in the X position at that time, running the post. Nobody bit from Rummel. Everything was covered up nicely because Rummel was sitting in a nice 3-deep coverage.
Let's look at it one more time before we get to the 3rd and 9.
There's your rail right there. And I had it backwards. It was Dixon that was in the slot.
Timeout called by Rummel. Rummel won this game last year 13-7. In 2023, they won it 20-17. Trailed by 10 points in the fourth quarter in that one and came back to win. An exciting game as well in 2022, winning 17-14. Scored the game-winning touchdown on a 79-yard catch and run with 2 minutes left. So the last 3 games played between these two schools, all decided by one possession. They also played in 2015 and 16, and Rummel won both of those games too. Wider margins, 28-14 and 24-7. So, but good competition for both of these teams. It's a really good game for University High. Get to play up 5A school, and then Rummel, before they get in a very difficult Catholic League schedule and play their big rival next week, Shaw. This is a fun game for them to play. I believe they're opening up against each other next year. They'll play week 1.
Well, a lot of times it gets down to you just can't schedule. So when you find somebody that wants to play, hey, you want to play? Yeah, I want to play. Let's play.
Right,
and then for University, as you said, playing up, they get those wild card points, which will put them on the bracket. In Division III Select.
McGlynn will take off with it. McGlynn gets banged out of bounds by Mitchell Harris, and now 4th down coming up here for U High. And this is big here, 4th and 6, down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, this is huge. This 4th down, they're going to have to take a, obviously I'd like to see the stick route again with Dixon, the out route again. They've been living on that in this series. Be interesting to see if they come back to it. You've got Dixon, I believe, lined up at the top of the screen. Oh, now look how tight the corner is playing on him, Harris.
They bring the blitz. Now they go deep to Dixon, and it's incomplete. Raiders defense comes up with the stand, and they'll take over up by 2 touchdowns from their own 35-yard line. And we'll take a break as Ethan McGlynn and that Lawson-Dixon connection eventually fizzled out. We'll be back after this on Game Time.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Back inside the Superdome for the Inspire the City Invitational. Also in honor of Ed Daniels, who we lost too soon from WGNO TV last year. Boy, did he love Friday nights.
Always was out there.
Yep. Rummel in control here, up by 2 touchdowns, and they are looking for more. Big run all the way to the 35-yard line, and they're just wearing out this U-High defense at the moment. Corian Hawkins, who had the touchdown run his last time he carried the football, goes 29 yards there, and they keep running that play, that counter play, and it is just eating the Cubs alive.
Well, they're leaning on them now. That offensive line is establishing dominance, as we talked about, the thing they wanted to do back in the first quarter. Those big guys are wearing out the guys in white right now.
It is one of the bigger offensive lines in the state that Rummel has. And they'll run for maybe 3 that time with Corian Hawkins. But for a few years there, after COVID, Rummel really didn't have a lot of size on the line. And then last year, they were able to get it back to where they wanted to. And it's still, you look at those guys, I mean, that's a beefy line. Well, that's what it's supposed to look like, especially if you're going to play in the Catholic League.
Well, their nickname for years back in the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s were the Ants, right? They were not really big. They were always good at what they did, the Jay Roth teams, the Easton Roth teams. I'll let you call this one.
2nd and 6. Couple yards that time for Hawkins.
And getting back to the story, these guys were always precise with offensive line play. All the great offensive line coaches that they've had for years at Rummel. I coached against these guys for 9 years in the Catholic League. I know, how well they're coached up front. Right now, Nick Monica is licking his chops because he's got guys that look like they're college offensive linemen up there. So for the first time in a while, these guys have some great size.
3rd down and 3. They're 4 of 9 on 3rd down. And a good run off the left side again by Hawkins for a 1st down to the 23.
Wearing out the counter. One puller for a kick, one puller for a seal. However you do it, the seal can come from a lineman. It can come from a H-back. It can come from your tight end lined up on the line of scrimmage. All different ways to be able to run that gap play. They've been known for running that gap play for years.
8th 1st down of this half. Rummel lost to Lafayette Christian last week. And Lafayette Christian is trailing Karen Crow 18-13 at halftime. Good run there up to the 15. Karen Crow had a huge win last week against St. Thomas More. And speaking of the Cougars, they actually lead Catholic High at Memorial Stadium in Baton Rouge 14-7. Now let's take a look here for the Raising Cane's Red Zone. Raising Cane's, fuel your game day the Cane's way at the 15-yard line. And Rummel's going to take it all the way down to the hydration timeout. And the Raiders, or I should say U-High, could probably use the break. It's been a really rough second half as the Rummel Raiders have gotten that ground game going. Establishing the line of scrimmage, that was the big key going into this game. Rummel has been able to do it, and they lead by 2 touchdowns.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
2nd down and 2 coming up for the Rummel Raiders, up by 2 touchdowns. Jeff Palermo, Wade Kaiser, and Derry Beckwith. 2nd down and 2 from the 15. As Rummel has entered the Raising Cane's red zone. It was a 10-7 game at halftime. Rummel led it. Had some momentum after the 96-yard kickoff return by Jaden Terrence. And they've really controlled this entire second half as Rummel, when they're not committing penalties, it's been pretty impressive with what we've seen from Rummel. Here's Terrence, and Terrence got brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Getting into the backfield was Ben Picarella. That forces a 3rd down here. So, and now cramping issue here for Jaden Terrence. See, this is why we take these hydration timeouts, even though we're playing indoors.
Well, it's a federation rule, right? It's all goes on all around the country except for in Texas. Texas still plays by NCAA rules. However, all the other states in the United States play by federation rules, and this is a rule that was passed some, 20 years ago. Yeah. And
month of September, everybody's taking a hydration timeout
at 6 minutes. But you're talking about the cramps right there. The cramps start happening. It's not because of the amount of water you're drinking right now. It's about the preparation and the amount of hydration that you've been drinking for weeks and months, and proper nutrition and things like that. And when you're running the football the way these cats are, and they're all high-strung and they're high-tight in their muscle conditioning, you're going to get some cramps this early in the season. You'll see it at this level, and you'll see it Saturday, and you will see it Sunday, no matter what the temperature is outside.
So next week, remember, we'll have Destrehan taking on Alexandria Senior High as we have our Raising Cane's Box Combo Game of the Week preview. 7 o'clock on YurView, Cox Cable Channel 4. Your Raising Cane's Box Combo Game of the Week. Fuel your game day the Canes way.
That's going to be a great football game.
From the 15-yard line here for Rummel. 3rd and 2, and getting tripped. Oh, did he lose the ball? No, he just kept the pile moving. I thought he was going to be stopped before the 15, but Hawkins just somehow stayed on his feet long enough, and I think that's enough for a first down. It's close.
He kept falling forward, falling forward. Good running back, puts his hand down on the ground.
Nick Monica's signaling first down, and the official finally agrees with him.
Yeah, there you go. Nick knows, right? There you go. But good running backs are going to fall forward, and they're going to know the line to get, right? The line to gain, and they're going to know where they're going to have to fall to get down, to that point and get that first down.
And Nick Monica saying, hey, you got to reset the play clock at 25 seconds, since now Rummel is in chew up the clock mode. 6 for 11 on 3rd down here for the Raiders as Tyler Holden in no hurry. Play clock under 10 seconds. Uh-oh. But Hawkins somehow gets out of there and gets to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, well, that's all Hawkins right there, right? Because Mackie Musgrove was in the backfield. Watch number 33. He blitzes. Nobody picks him up. It was a lookout block. And then you saw how that hand went down on the ground right there, everybody? That hand goes down on the ground, keeps his balance. Which way does he fall? Forward. These are two solid, good running backs the Rummel Raiders have.
University High will have another big test next week as they'll take on their crosstown rival, the Catholic High Bears. Hawkins, 20 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. Hawkins dancing in the backfield. And he'll be eventually taken down to the turf. U-High uses a timeout here as Lane Mixon was in on the tackle. Well, it was a very disappointing end to the 2024 season for U-High. They had a very good team with Emil Pecorella as their quarterback, but because of a couple of players were ineligible, they had to forfeit most of their victories a season ago, and that knocked them out of the playoffs. But I think this program is taking a really good look at, or using that really tough situation as motivation. When I talked to Andy Martin about it, says, hey, what it has brought us is a greater appreciation for the opportunity to play every Friday night. It's not guaranteed, right? Whether it's an injury, whether it's an eligibility issue, whatever it may be, weather, who knows? If you get a storm that comes rolling through here.
Right.
So he feels the kids are much more appreciative of having the opportunity to play football. And I know they're enjoying this opportunity. They're not going to enjoy the result unless they come from behind and win it. But I know they've enjoyed this opportunity to get a chance to play in the Dome. So 3rd down and 8. U-High has just one more timeout at the 11-yard line. They'll throw it. They'll complete it. And running into the end zone. Touchdown, Jamarcus Jones. 2 touchdown passes tonight for Tyler Holden. And Rummel is going to win this one going away. Nice night for number 17, Tyler Holden, the junior QB.
Counter boot. Holden gets out on the edge. Everybody bites on the counter inside. They've been having great success with the counter in this second half. They fake the counter. He gets out on the boundary. Big Jamarcus Jones is off of the tight end delay, dumps the ball to him, walks into the end zone.
Extra point. Oh, they abort it. Now trying to get to the end zone for the 2 points, and it's not going to work. As that was Bo Stevens, a freshman, trying to get in, but nobody would have thought Jamarcus Jones would have caught that pass, and a nice job by Jones, just a sophomore. Man, big kid. This guy looks like he is going to be a handful over the next couple of years for Rummel, and they get him involved in the offense. And
he's 6'2", 205. By the time he gets out of Rummel in a couple of years, he'll be your prototypical tight end with your hand in the dirt. They'll teach him how to play up as an H-back or what they call a sniffer back. He'll be able to do a lot of things as they keep moving, not only this year as a sophomore, but for the next 2 years as he grows into that position.
Rummel will kick it back off to U-High. U-High's only touchdown came late in the second quarter. And again, mishandling a kickoff. We've seen a lot of kickoff returns end up on the ground by the return man, mishandling these kicks. Let's take a look at our play of the game. Brought to you by Elevation Station, a place for nonstop action and family fun. And this was a heck of a return by Jaden Terrence, 96 yards right before halftime. In fact, the clock was 0-0 once Terrence got in the end zone, but such a huge play after U-High had taken the lead 10-7 with 17 or so seconds left to go in the game. Terrence mishandles the return, picks it up, and then takes it to the house.
Well, every game has a game changer, right? That was the game changer for the Rummel Raiders.
Wide open on the near side. The receiver makes the grab. Corbin Odell, first down to the 37-yard line. As Ethan McGlynn gets another opportunity to work on that hurry-up offense at the end of a half. At the 38-yard line here for Rummel, or excuse me, for U-High. McGlynn gets rid of it. Bouncing off a tackler was Dixon. Dixon moving upfield and steps out of bounds at around the 50-yard line.
Again, Dixon having a great night, just bounces off a tackler who didn't bring his arms with him when he went to tackle Dixon. Look, I'm impressed with this wide receiver. He's a good football player. He's going to go on and have a great year this year for University.
11-yard pickup there for Lawson Dixon to the 49-yard line. McGlynn gets rid of it, and he'll throw it away.
Yeah, pressured with a twist up front. You saw a defensive tackle run a Texas twist all the way around to the short side of the field to become the container to get into McGlynn's face. McGlynn just throws it away.
Send it out of the field and hear from Derry Beckwith. Derry, what do you like about this Raiders defense? Other than giving up that touchdown right before the halftime, it's been very good.
It has. We talked about UI's defense, how fast they are to the ball. Rummel defense is equally as fast. They like a piranhas run to the football. And
Prior
they
to the snap,
mad,
both start
fast in a
on
hurry,
the
and they
offense
get in
number
a bad
55.
mood, and they do a
That's
good
a 5-yard
job
penalty.
of playing their assignments, using their hands. They don't make a lot of mistakes defensively as well. So if I'm Coach Monica, I'm extremely impressed with what this defense did this game.
And it's a nice finish for this Rummel Raiders team after a disappointing loss last week to Lafayette Christian.
Yeah, well, one of the goals we talked about also, Jeff, was that they had to finish, right? They didn't like the way they finished the first half. They're going to finish the second half. I'm sure things were talked about at halftime.
That game last week was tied up at 20 with just under 6 minutes left. Missed an extra point was the difference of that game. And then the Knights were able to finish it out.
Yeah, and I think Nick wasn't so much upset about the point loss, right? It was about how his kids' effort was given in that second half of the football game. You know, they jumped up to the 10-point lead on Lafayette Christian, and then it's just like all the air was let out of a balloon, and they just thought they were going to coast on in, and Lafayette Christian had a lot to say about that, and I think that's what Nick Monica was mad about.
Yeah, he said his team played timid, played on their heels, and Lafayette Christian took it to him. He also thought the game shape hurt them in the fourth quarter.
Great look right here by Dixon on the catch on the little square in pattern. See how he uses his hands nicely? You know, I think this cat can play at the next level somewhere. It's not going to be an SEC level, but I think he has skills that he can play at the FCS level or the Division III level.
Yeah, southeastern Louisiana, that's where he's committed to.
Oh, that is correct. I'm sorry. Absolutely. So he'll be playing at the FCS level. They're going to love this guy in Hammond.
Corbin Odell picks up the first down on 4th down and 2. But getting back to Rummel, Nick Monica and Terry Beckwith will have a chance to talk to him. Oh, pass in. That's a touchdown. There he is again. Lawson Dixon got behind the Rummel secondary, and a 35-yard touchdown pass from McGlynn to Lawson Dixon. And University gets up on the scoreboard again right before a half ends.
Well, he gets behind the coverage, right? The free safety went to sleep for Rummel. I mean, again, Derry's been talking about it all night. You got to play with your eyes, right? You got to trust your eyes, trust what you're seeing. I think the free safety got lost in all the play action pass action in the backfield. Dixon slips behind him for 6 points.
Extra point here for Melanson. Now there's movement. Didn't get set or came out.
Yeah, they're going to get Rummel for jumping off sides here.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, number 97. Half the distance to the goal, retry the point.
Well, the big teaching point for Rummel this week going into their big game against Shaw will be the penalties. It's been way too many here tonight for the Raiders. Nick Monica not happy. I think he thought his guys were drawn offsides.
Well, something drew Russ Lewis offside.
Chose to decline the penalty. Retry the point.
Something drew Russ Lewis offside, whether it was a sound or whether he just jumped the gun real fast, but he's the guy that did make the contact and jump into the neutral zone.
Right through the uprights. McGlynn, his second touchdown pass and the second touchdown catch of the night for Lawson Dixon, who has 12 grabs for 121 yards. McGlynn has thrown for 169 yards.
Well, you can see what McGlynn sees. He's rushing out to the right. The safeties moved forward. We're talking about Jackson, Kieran Jackson. He is lost in the whole transverse of the quarterback rolling out, and slipping right behind him was Dixon for the touchdown. Again, McGlynn does a nice job keeping the play alive by keeping his eyes downfield looking for a receiver, and then he saw number 3, Dixon, come open behind the safety and drops the dime.
Hands team out there for Rummel as they're anticipating the onside kick with U-High down by 13 and a minute 29 to go. Melanson will tee it up.
Ball's got to go 10 yards. It can't get touched inside that 10-yard zone.
Nice job by Rummel. It came up and got it on the high hop, and handling that for the Raiders is Kirby Cade. And Rummel's offense with a minute 25, only one more timeout for the Cubs. They can really just get in victory formation and get win number 1 under their belts for the 2025 season. And we'll get Derry Beckwith involved here, but this 1-2 punch at running back, Corey and Hawkins and Jaden Terrence, they were terrific here tonight. Both of them over 100 yards rushing, Derry.
They did an outstanding job, and they complement each other. Anytime you have two running backs, each running back has to be extremely unselfish, because as a running back, you want to get a lot of carries and you get going in a groove. One guy scores a touchdown, and guess what? The next series, the other guy's in. So the ability to move on from series to series and realize that this is a team sport, that the other guy plays, that the other guys can get some reps, but also it keeps them from, number one, it limits injury, and also it keeps them fresh. And when you get to the fourth quarter, to have two guys with fresh legs is dangerous.
And Rummel finished this game the right way. That's the thing, because they didn't do it very well last week. And again, for University High, they'll get another big test next week against Catholic High, a game that they've won before. They've beaten the Bears a couple times here in recent history, so it's not it doesn't realm of possibility that they can beat Catholic next week, even though they couldn't get Rummel here. And Rummel stays undefeated against Catholic High.
Well,
Rummel stays undefeated against University High. Excuse me.
It doesn't get any easier for University next week against Catholic, but they're getting ready for that district that they're in, and of course Rummel then has the megaphone game with Shaw. It doesn't get any easier for those guys either as they move through their non-district schedule.
And U High, of course, their big game towards the end of the season will be against Madison Prep, who is off to a terrific start this season. Nick Monica and Andy Martin, those two guys have a lot of respect for each other. Fun football game in the Superdome. Game one of the Inspire the City Invitational in honor of Ed Daniels is in the books, with the Rummel Raiders coming away with the victory over the U High Cubs. More coming up on YurView.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Here's an important message from the U.S. Med Diabetes Solution Center. If you have diabetes, you know the pain of pricking your fingers. But now, by wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce your pain right away. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. So call us right now to see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no cost. U.S. Med. Better service. Better care.
Rummel Raiders victorious tonight as the Raiders beat U High 30-17. Time now for our J&J exterminating defensive play of the game. Rummel setting the tone in the second half with that jarring hit applied by Chris Parker.
led to an early turnover, picked up by Carlin Kitchen, and Rummel. Their defense played very well here tonight, only allowing the 2 touchdowns at the end of the halves. JJ exterminating Louisiana's largest independently owned pest control company, shielding Louisiana homes for over 65 years. Now time for OSPT, Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy Player of the Game, and that is going to go to Jaden Terrence. Well over 100 yards rushing in this game, 14 carries for 123 yards. And, of course, he had the big play of the game, the 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. But he really got going in the second half. Here's the kickoff return to finish out the first half. It was a back-breaking play, giving Rummel a 10-7 lead after mishandling the kickoff.
Mic test,
and
1, 2, mic test.
Nice night here for the Rummel Raiders, and Derry Beckwith has our player of the game, that of course being Jaden Terrence.
Jaden, you guys imposed your will in the second half running the football. What was the key behind you guys' success?
I say the key was just us working together. We knew we had the better line, and we was just more focused than them really.
On the kickoff return, did you drop the ball on purpose?
Nah, I ain't driving on purpose.
So you guys started 0-1. How important was for you not to go in an 0-2 hole and come out and get a victory tonight?
This win was real important to us because we know last week we didn't play nothing like us. Like what we played last week, it wasn't us at all. So this one was important for us to get back on track in the season.
Well, great game, man. Excited to see you play. Good luck the rest of the season. Absolutely.
Great game for Jaden Terrence. Expect several more before it's all said and done. He's a junior. More from New Orleans when we come back. Rummel victorious tonight.
Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be using this. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men, the first of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.ParticleMen.com. Because seeing is believing.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Win number 47 for Nick Monica at Rummel as Rummel gets a big victory tonight over University High. Gets that bad taste out of their mouth after the 1-point loss to Lafayette Christian. Jeff Palermo along with Wade Kaiser. Really interesting third quarter. It looked like Rummel was going to really hurt themselves with all those penalties, but their run game was just too much for University High tonight.
Right. The offensive line took over.
Yeah.
You know, that was one of the goals that they had set for themselves was come out and play physical up front, play hard on the offensive line, win the line of scrimmage. They did that in the second half.
Let's take a look at our highlights in this contest as University High was trying to get its ground game going in the second half. That ball gets jarred loose but Rummel never scored on that drive because of penalties. And then you get some more penalties. Well, here's University High trying to get something going, but Rummel's defense was too darn good. U High gets a little bit of momentum shift here on the fake punt. They get the field goal by Melanson, and that actually ties our football game up at 10. But that's really when Rummel takes over. What a pass here by Tyler Holden. And I think that's the other story of the game, is that went to Mark Shesby, was how well Tyler Holden played here tonight.
Well, Tyler Holden played within himself, right? And his job is to keep the offense moving, get them in good positions. There's another good look at Holden right there for the final score, out to the big tight end Jamarcus Jones. That is his job as a young quarterback. You look at the stats, look at the rushing yards. A lot different from the first half, 230 for the Raiders, and you can tell their offensive line completely dominated the second half as compared to the 92 yards rushing by the Cubs. Both of these teams will live and die the rest of the season by running the football.
Well, and we knew whoever ran the ball better tonight was going to win this game, and tonight it was the Rummel Raiders. There's still one more game to be played here tonight. Check out our friends at Crescent City Sports for the Edna Carr American Plantation game. Next week we'll be at Destrehan. Want to thank everyone involved in the broadcast tonight. Kim Giat, our director, Jeff Schneider, our producer, our great camera crew here tonight at the Superdome. For Derry Beckwith, Wade Kaiser, I'm Jeff Lermo. Rummel victorious tonight as they beat University High 30-17, and you watched it from New Orleans here on Game Time.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
This summer, we're in a race against time as temperatures rise. Abused and neglected animals across the country are suffering right now in the unbearable, scorching heat. They're thirsty and panting, chained outside with no water, and many are desperately trying to hang on for just one more day.
Extreme heat can have a major impact on animals, and we see that all the time. You know, without shade, to be without shelter, without adequate water, and basically just left out there dealing with the baking sun all day.
Will you come forward to help save an animal in distress today? Visit joinaspca.org, call this toll-free number, or scan the code on your screen to be counted for this life-saving appeal. We need 3,000 new donors in the next 30 days. And with your gift of just $19 a month, you can help save an animal's life this summer. Go online, call, or scan now. It's just 63 cents a day. We will put your gift to work right away, rescuing animals who might not survive if we don't get to them soon. But the situation is urgent, and tomorrow could be too late for an animal who is suffering in the sweltering heat right now.
In my mind, 1 more hour is not acceptable. Right? These animals have suffered enough.
If there ever was a time, this is it. So if you sign up in the next 10 minutes, we'll send you this free welcome kit for taking action right away to save an animal's life this summer. We're in a race against time to reach vulnerable animals who are barely hanging on. Help rescue an animal today. Go online, call, or scan right now.
Miss anything from the show or just want to see it again? See all the videos we have online at sportsstarsoftomorrow.com.
This last segment is always reserved for you, our viewers. Check out Clark Coakley. He's a 2027 prospect at J. Sarah Catholic in Orange County, California. Last season as a sophomore, the wide receiver was able to make an impact in the highly competitive Trinity League. He had 25 catches for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns a year ago, and he's looking forward to having a bigger role in the offense this year. A 3-sport athlete, Clark also competes in basketball and track. The interest from college football programs is really starting to heat up for Clark. He's heard from a number of Ivy League schools, including Princeton, which has extended him an offer. He also has offers from some FBS programs, including Nevada, Syracuse, and San Diego State. If you'd like to be featured in this segment, we want to hear from you. Go to sportsstarsoftomorrow.com and click on Contact. Fill out the form and tell us why you should be on the show.
Sports Stars of Tomorrow is brought to you in part by...
Water doesn't have to be boring. With over 40 delicious flavors, Circle starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Try Circle at drinkcircle.com.
I'm here with Chris Cunahan of Leaf Filter. What is the problem with a clogged gutter?
Rotten fascia, rotten soffit, mildew, mold in the attic.
So how can Leaf Filter fix this problem?
So the first thing we're going to do is professionally clean out all your gutters, realign them, install our Leaf Filter system that allows nothing but water. Just give us a call, set up an appointment. We'll come out, give you a free gutter inspection.
To schedule your free inspection, call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com.
It's time for us to wrap this up, but before we do, be sure to follow Sports Stars of Tomorrow on social media and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. For everyone behind the scenes, I'm Charles Davis, and we'll see you next time.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322. Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
I'm Dan Rain, and I love what I do. For 30 years, I've connected farmers with their customers, and I've competed in the World Food Championships. My team has made it to the top 6 in the world. Today, I'm going to introduce you to the farmers who grow your food and show you where your food comes from. This is going to be a wild adventure! Today, I'm going to introduce you to Deborah Olson, California's Cherry Queen. Her grandmother ran the landmark fruit stand in Sunnyvale, California in the 1950s, and Deborah's been in the cherry business since she was a kid. Deborah has built her company into a successful mail order and delivery business with many celebrities as her clients. No one knows cherries like Deborah.
Love the enjoyment that cherries give to people is probably the #1 enjoyment, and probably the second right after would be the camaraderie and the relationships that I've forged, people like Andy at Andy's Orchard, and the growers statewide in the Northwest and in the Southern Hemisphere. So those two really keep me passionate and excited about what I do.
Deborah says she's also come across some consumer misconceptions.
The consumer really doesn't know that there are all these different varieties out there, that they all have their distinct flavors. Obviously, there are going to be some varieties that are better than other varieties, and I felt that was part of my job, especially when I had my landmark fruit stand in Sunnyvale, California for many, many, many years when my grandmother started it in the 50s, and I thought it very important to explain to the consumer that all these different cherries have a different part of the season.
Deborah had to pivot her cherry business model when her grandmother passed away. She watched as urban sprawl claimed the farmland all around her. She now sources some of her cherries from Chile.
I remember like it was yesterday, our valley was called the Santa Clara Valley.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it was Silicon Valley. And first of all, I had no idea what silicone was. So I just saw all these changes coming, and the demographics of the area started to change. And a lot of our customers started moving away, and hence the mail order business.
This year, heavy rains impacted the entire cherry crop, pushing back production. Deborah remembers when it happened to her father long ago.
I'll never forget the time it rained on this beautiful crop. And so both of us had tears in our eyes. And of course, the next day it stopped and the damage was done. And we tried to salvage the crop the best we could, but we had a job to do, and that job was to get the fruit, ripe fruit off the trees and get them sorted and then get them to the marketplace at the fruit stand. And my job was to sell, sell, sell.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to let you know how much your case is potentially worth. I'm here with TV personality and spokesman Tom Mustin. So, Tom, tell the viewers at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You'll speak with a live person and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it. Take advantage of this opportunity. Call now.
Another farm expert I had the pleasure of visiting was Andy Mariani from Andy's Orchard. He's an expert in growing all types of stone fruit like cherries. He's one of the few remaining farmers in the valley.
Well, I grew up on the farm here, and we've been here for 60 years. We moved here in the late 50s, and we grew primarily prunes and apricots.
How many different varieties do you grow on this farm?
I think there's at least 300 between the cherries and the apricots, peaches, nectarines, plums.
Andy is known for his knowledge of heirloom plants. He has one of the largest collections of stone fruit varieties on the West Coast.
Well, heirloom is basically a catch-all category for varieties that are older. Oftentimes they're harder to grow, but because a lot of the varieties were chosen for flavor in the past, they tend to have more flavor in general.
So how do you really maximize the flavor? You know, when consumers buy your fruit, how do you kind of differentiate? How do you make sure that yours is the very best?
We'll go around the tree maybe a half dozen times and just pick the fruits at its prime. You know, the last few days that fruit hangs on the tree, that's when it develops the most in flavor and sugar content. And so the average consumer who's buying supermarket fruit is really getting shortchanged in terms of flavor.
Another one of Andy's passions is the Ugly Fruit program. If a fruit isn't perfect, it still has a purpose, for example, being in ice cream or beer.
You know, there's a nick or a pinch or a scab or something like that, a little deformity, but they still have the same eating quality. And so we sell those, and we sell a lot to the ice cream makers, and because they just macerate it anyway, and same with the beer. We sell pretty much everything that we grow, including the secondary fruit.
What you may not know are all the health benefits associated with cherries. Not only are they loaded with nutrients like vitamin C or potassium, but they're also a good source of fiber. And they're also rich in anti-inflammatory compounds. Research shows cherries may help relieve exercise-induced muscle pain and inflammation, say from pickleball or tennis. The best way to enjoy the fruits of your labor is to share it with your friends. So tonight, we're throwing a cherry-themed dinner party. I'm cooking with my friend, Chef Wendy Brody. She was my teammate as we competed in the World Food Championships, making it to the top 10.
The gift of cooking is really just that. It's a gift of your soul to others. Don't know why I'm getting emotional, but it is.
I'm getting emotional.
It's such a loving thing to do, and I love it when I'm having other people's food.
So Wendy, you've incorporated cherries into the main entree. Can you share a little bit more about the preparation?
Well, I love using pork with fruit. It just marries very well together. I think you'll love the taste.
I can't wait to try it.
And oh, by the way, I need to get started on that. Why don't you go and have fun, and I'll get started in the kitchen.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, Call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Hi folks, welcome back. If you or someone you know has been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you now suffer from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you could be entitled to significant cash compensation. Rob, who should be calling in right now?
Just like you said, Paula, if you or someone you know have been exposed to the weed killer Roundup and you are now suffering from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, you may be entitled to significant compensation.
Thanks, Rob. Take action and call now.
Before things got too busy, I had enough time to explore the area and find out what's so great for families in this part of California. What I discovered was this unusual place in Santa Clara County, the Gilroy Ostrich Farm.
Wow. Oh, look at all those eggs. I feel like it's Easter. Yes. Oh, you're hungry too. Well, there's plenty for everyone. I do feel like a farmer. And maybe you're going to make me a sweater. Come here. Come here. I'd like to take you home. Hey, come on. Oh my God. Nice, they're sharing. Sharing is caring. Oh, look at you. Hi. So here I have a giant ostrich egg, the equivalent of 2 dozen eggs, enough to feed 15 people. So this egg is so fresh, it was just laid today by a giant ostrich who also danced with me. You're gonna do a waltz with me? Do a little foxtrot? Oh, right.
We're visiting Rana Nursery today, a hub of landscape architects dedicated to creating sustainable farming and urban environments. Marta is here to discuss her exciting vision for the future.
We're a team of architects, landscape architects, designers, planners, horticulturists. And so our mission is to make it seem like we were never here in our design work. We complete about 150 projects, design projects a year. We grew all the plants for Facebook, all of Facebook's headquarters. And so we've really found a niche in contract growing.
How many different varieties are you growing here at this nursery?
1,500 different species of plants we're growing here. That sounds really impressive, but we started here with just one small shade house. Another really exciting project that is really stretching our capacity for master planning is everybody's talking about climate change, and we're really coming at it from climate adaptation. So we're working on some of the first climate adaptive projects here in Northern California. We're thinking about what will this park look like in 25 years when sea levels are projected to rise. I think it's about looking at the entire subject, but then picking your passion and seeing where you can make a difference. I also think if enough people work on solutions across all sectors, I think we will be okay, and that's what is inspiring to me. And we're showing with all of these little projects that it is possible to do things in a better way.
When cherry trees begin to blossom in the springtime, farmers are not the only ones inspired. I went to visit my artist friend Simon Bull to see his cherry paintings. His art has been viewed by more than 1 million Instagram followers. In 2019, Simon was the official artist for the National Cherry Blossom Festival in Washington, D.C. I asked him why he loves to paint cherry blossoms.
I used to go out into my garden and sit in the flowers, and I would sit and draw them all day long. I found out something beautiful about flowers. I'd found that flowers grow in family groups. Flowers have families, and so they're wonderful metaphors for human life. The cherry blossom, it lasts just a very short period of time, but when the petals drop, we lament that moment, but really it's a necessary step towards cherries. But even beyond the cherry, there's something that's more valuable to the tree than the cherry. That's the seed in the cherry, right?
Right.
And so then the seed itself, when that falls into the ground, there's another tree inside of it. That's what I love about the cherry blossoms. Everything in life has meaning and has purpose and is going in a specific direction. But when we look at the eternal cycles that God has written into nature, we can have a greater confidence that, no, you know what, moving forward is good.
You so speak to my soul. And I can imagine that you speak to millions of people through your artwork.
So Dan, like there's one little thing that I wanted to do for you before I go, but I thought, how about you add like a little cherry blossom painting to your collection?
I love it. Right. Thank you so much.
Come on, let's go have a ride. You want to join me in the car?
I would love it.
Put your earplugs in.
God, we're going so fast!
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Do you want a full body workout that stretches, strengthens, and builds your cardio? Then I have a solution for you. Hi, I'm Leslie Sokol, the creator and founder of the Adult Dance and Fitness TV show for the young at heart. Join in with me weekly on your YurView channel and get a great workout. Check your local TV listings. Let's get fit together.
Another artist I had to invite to dinner was Stephen Bruce, who works with children.
So many schools don't have art programs. I was fortunate to go to a school where we could have art. But I go into schools sometimes, where art is like once a week or once a month. So supporting art in communities that that are underserved is huge. We put together a program. It was an after-school program. It was the first one I did, I think, in 2009. And the students were able to come in the classroom, experiment with some pieces of metal, use some household acids like pickle juice and hot sauce. And,
wow, pickle juice.
Yeah, and create color using some household chemicals on metal. Every class there's an opportunity. And somebody asked me, they said, do you know how many children you're going to touch doing this? And I looked at them, I said, I'm having so much fun, I hadn't even thought about the kids yet. I like to tell students there are no rules in art, and there's no mistakes. A mistake becomes a new process. And my mother used to say, everything is for you. So everything out there is yours. Don't allow somebody to tell you what you can and cannot do. Just explore it. And the universe will tell you whether you can or can't.
I find Wendy is full of advice. She says sometimes the best lessons are learned from mistakes. What are some of the tips and tricks that you can share with our home chef?
You can improvise and switch it out. For instance, purple potatoes were printed on the menu. we didn't have purple potatoes, so we used beet juice and cooked the potatoes in that, and it was gorgeous.
Brilliant.
And so I was able to use that for an Easter magazine shoot where we cooked the potatoes in saffron and all different colors to look like an Easter basket. So these are some of the fun lessons that happen.
I love it, and you know purple's my favorite color. Team Purple Rain.
Who knew?
Wendy, what are you going to cook for us tonight?
You wanted the asparagus bundles. You like that idea. So if you don't mind, I need your help on doing a few more, but the platter that we can add it to is in the fridge.
In the fridge?
Yeah.
All right, I'll get it. Oh, I love asparagus. They're so pretty. I love those little bundles.
When you've got a big group like we have tonight, we're going to be bundling these quickly and plating them up.
Okay.
So the more you can have done ahead, so we'll have one portion already done for each person.
All right.
So take about 6 together.
All right.
And these are blanched chives, and you can just wrap it around like that and they'll hold, and I just need a few more for all the extra guests you invited.
I can't help it.
And then you had asked me what else I do with the asparagus. I save all the skins, I peel them, and then I deep fry them so you get the nutrition of the skins.
Nice.
But, you know, I'm sure the oil doesn't hurt that much.
Right.
And then I have some society garlic flowers mixed in because I know how
I
you
love purple.
Yes.
That's gorgeous.
So then we're just going to sprinkle, so I'll let you sprinkle a few on there.
So how artistic.
That
is so gorgeous.
So that's perfect. That's perfect.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's great.
My guests will love it.
You're sure about that?
I'm sure. I'm ready for a party, so let's do it. So we're gonna make Dan's favorite cherry mojito. So let's start with some cherries. So let's put maybe 8 pitted cherries in each glass.
Ooh.
Now we're gonna take the mint, put 8 leaves in your hand, and then you're gonna slap that hand to release those oils, and then you're gonna put that in the glass. So I'll do the same thing with the other glass. So just slap it. All right.
That wasn't a good sound.
All
there.
right. Slap it. All right, put it in the glass. Take that reamer, turn it upside down, and use it as a muddler.
Oh, what a good idea.
Right? Multi-use. Okay, so I'm gonna do mine now.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. So I think that's muddled. Okay, so now what we want to do, get your hands into that ice and put it. I'm ready for a cocktail. I'm thirsty.
Tell me how much is that enough?
A little bit more. This is such a beautiful cocktail. So now I'm going to just take some, sparkling water. I've got a little bit of lime juice I'm going to pour over the top. So, I like to leave out the simple syrup, but you know what? What I'm not going to leave out is the rum. So, throw some rum in there. Look at that beautiful red color. Cheers, my friend.
Thank you.
And of course, Deborah is making her world-famous cherry pie. She prefers a homemade crust, and her secret ingredient is adding a touch of almond extract to the cherry mixture to make the sweetness of the cherries pop.
Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be seeing this. Most men over 40 look into the mirror and see this, when they could be using this. Particle 6-in-1 Face Cream for Men, the first of its kind anti-aging cream designed specifically for men. Fights eye bags, dark spots, and wrinkles. Visit ParticleMen.com and use the promo code on your screen to receive 25% off your entire order. Plus, we've got free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. www.ParticleMen.com. Because seeing is believing.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to let you know how much your case is potentially worth. I'm here with TV personality and spokesman Tom Mustin. So, Tom, tell the viewers at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You'll speak with a live person and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it. Take advantage of this opportunity. Call now.
Deborah, welcome to my hacienda. Thrilled to have you here.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for inviting me. I am so excited to share to you and to your audience how to make a fabulous cherry pie.
Well, let's get started.
We need to pit the cherries with my handy cherry pitter.
Nice.
Most people can buy this online, but everybody has a jar at home, which makes it very simple. So you take your cherry and you take the stem off, and you want to put this part of the cherry up to this apparatus here, and you just push the button and voila. So you're going to go ahead and put the sugar and the flour in the bowl.
All right, perfect. Nice.
Alrighty, and the cherries go right on.
Do you want me to add this in too?
Yep.
Perfect. All right.
Alrighty.
And then just add the cherries. Yes. Voila. Oh, this looks so good. So just kind of mix up the flour.
Mix up the flour and the sugar.
Nice.
And just let it set.
Now, why do you add the flour in with the cherries?
The flour is going to be the thickener for the filling.
Okay, all right.
And it's just a tried and true recipe I've used all my life, and it seems to work, and it's always delicious.
We're going to have a big, beautiful, overflowing cherry pie.
Absolutely.
Enough for our fabulous dinner party tonight, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yum.
Since I was so excited to meet other artists that Dan has put together, I thought it would be really great if we surprised Dan with our own drawing techniques or painting techniques. So if you would help me do some plates. I'm taking the Jackson Pollock approach on this.
I'll go next.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to do one of my little cherry blossom branches.
Oh, fabulous. Oh, gorgeous.
And then I'll just like spatter a few little blossoms around the place. I can't let people eat off that. That's for sale right now.
Oh my God, I'm so thrilled to see you guys tonight. Thank you so much. We're gonna have an epic party.
Yeah.
Ching, ching, darling.
Cheers, cheers. Cheers, cheers.
Steven. Simon, here you go. I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Wendy. That's delicious. Everything just came so beautifully together, and just all the different palettes.
Well, the problem is with this incredible meal is like, it looked like a work of art, but I was so hungry I had to kind of destroy it. I hope you don't mind, but I started with the cherries.
Can we do this again tomorrow?
The one thing I've observed, the farmers I've met over the years share two common traits: resilience and hope.
It continues, and it's getting bigger and better and much more gratifying, if that's even possible.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Hello and welcome to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. As we welcome in those back-to-school vibes, it's time to gear up with new backpacks, supplies, and open minds. We're ready to take on new lessons and exciting challenges. Let's go. Summer may be over, but the excitement is just beginning as students and teachers gear up for a brand new school year. Whether you're setting up a classroom or cracking open a fresh notebook, it's time to dive into cool new projects, spark creativity, and fire up those circuits for hands-on learning. Just like AZ Strut, as they're heading into another season of refurbishing, reusing, and recycling hands-on experiences. They're an organization focused on creating new opportunities and sparking discovery. Let's take a look.
So AZ Strut was formed back in the late 90s as a joint effort with Intel and Motorola. They were here in the Valley and they saw that a lot of electronics were starting to get into our landfills, and they also saw there's a need to develop the next generation of workforce. So the effort was to create AZ Strut, and what we do then since that time is work with schools to get electronics out of landfills and get them recycled or refurbished, and also teach the next generation of workforce on how to do that. We work with the community or with organizations to collect any e-waste, working or not, new or old. Either if it's a big company, we'll come and pick up from them, but we also accept drop-offs from the community or from any organization. And then we process what is brought in. And what we can't, it has to be recycled at that point. So we do a lot of recycling, but our first and best use is to get it in the hands of someone who could still benefit from this device or this electronic component. So we work with schools and students to get these devices refurbished and reusable so someone else can use them.
Well, when a company wants a pickup, or an individual, because I do pick up from people's houses as well, what they need to do is go to our website, azstrut.org. When that gets submitted, I get an email stating that wanting a pickup request. Once that date is scheduled and that time comes, then I'll come with a box truck and I will go and pick up the equipment. Anything that's donated to us is not going to go into the landfill. We're going to either reuse it or recycle it.
If you want to contribute to the mission of AZ Strut, there's the 3 T's: time, treasure, and talent. If you have the time to spare, even if you're not a very technical person, that's fine. Sometimes we just need someone to help us sort through items and put things in the bin they need to belong to. Some things are just very heavy. We need to move things around. If you have more of a talent, great. You can help us with our refurbishing process or help us with our experiences to help the younger groups figure out how to take apart a computer and put it back together. And of course, there's the treasure. If you have the ability to give up of some of your resources to help fund us, that's also appreciated. So there's really all levels of participation available to anyone who is interested in our mission.
So they don't have to have any experience with computers here. You can learn here on the job. And that's what makes this place so unique. There's so many businesses out there that require experience. Well, you have to get that experience somewhere, and this is the place to get it.
Just the experience of being able to take something that was once trash and turn it into someone else's treasure.
AZ Strut accepts nearly all electronics, old or new, working or not, and relies on the generous support of donors and volunteers to keep its mission alive. Financial contributions are always welcome and tax deductible, helping AZ Strut empower students, schools, and communities across Arizona. If you'd like to make a difference and become a valued supporter, visit azstrut.org. Together, we can fuel the future of tech education. What a great way to kick off the school year with STEM and sustainability leading the way. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Welcome back to Doing More. I'm Erica Cardenas. We're here at AZ Strut in Tempe, Arizona, where students are turning old tech into new opportunities through refurbishing, recycling, and reusing. AZ Strut, or Arizona Students Recycling Used Technology, is a nonprofit organization partnering with local schools to empower students through hands-on computer repair programs. These initiatives help students build valuable technical skills while gaining real-world work experience. It's learning, growth, and green impact all in one. We made our way to Casa Grande, Arizona, where United Way of Pinal County celebrated their annual Back to School Bash with the amazing support of Cox Communications. Let's take a look.
Today we have our Back to School Bash, which is presented by United Way of Pinal County and Cox Communications. It's a great community event where we host school supplies, backpacks, community resources. We got balloon animals, we got free food for the families, just a lot of great things to get them ready for the school year and help them with their daily lives. Pinal County has a very rich history of farming, mining. We have a lot of cotton producers, a lot of rural areas out here. So they don't always get the same services or the same support that maybe a dense city like Phoenix might get. So that's what makes our job even more important. So they check in, we get them a nice welcome, we give them a passport so they get to go around and meet all the different great agencies we have. They're gonna get goodies, they're gonna get resources, they're gonna get books. They're gonna go around and fill up bags full of all sorts of great things to take home.
Well, the mission of United Way is to improve people's lives by providing educational opportunities and also financial stability. So we have programs that actually that are geared to helping individuals get a new career, like trade and vocational schools, but they're combined with financial education. So we take them from education to work and financial stability.
This is something they've done here in Pinal County for 29 years. We got involved a couple of years ago because there was a huge demand within the community and we were happy to come and help.
Cox has been the keystone supporter since last year when we partnered with them for this event. Their support really makes all this possible. They're the one that gets the food for all the families. 24 agencies here in total, and they're putting their best foot forward, making sure that they reach out to each community member here to give them support that they might be needing or missing in their life.
The opportunity to have the things you need on day one for families that may be struggling or for families in need, like, it's not only empowering and uplifting, but it kind of gives you a sense of self, gives you a sense of, you know, heading in the right direction. And like, there's no better way walking in on day one with nice clothes on, a backpack full of supplies, a smile on your face, and just ready to start the school year.
I'm Elijah, and I'm in first grade. I got a backpack full of school supplies, and I got some pencils and some markers and a ruler.
We brought in a DJ, we brought in food, we brought in balloons, we brought in everything we could to make this a fun opportunity for kids to get the stuff that they needed, but also to have a good time and celebrate.
We want them to leave with school supplies to take the burden off of starting the school year. We want them to get some help from some of these great agencies around us right now that are willing to help them and really just elevate them so that tomorrow's a better day.
Thanks United Way and Cox Communication for the Back to School Bash.
United Way of Pinal County is committed to improving lives by mobilizing resources and building strong partnerships to tackle the most pressing needs in the community. Your generosity helps drive the success and long-term impact of United Way's programs across Pinal County. Ready to make a difference? Visit unitedwayofpc.org and get involved today. As I work on this desktop PC for purposes of recycling, check out Valleywise Health Foundation, an organization whose mission is to raise funds for key programs and a lot more. Take a look.
The mission of Valleywise Health is to provide excellent care to every patient, every time. We are home to the Arizona Burn Center, which is one of the largest burn centers in the country, but particularly in the Southwest. We have a wide range of services that allow us to live that mission. Patients and families are flown in even from around the country to receive care here. It's a comprehensive program that includes acute treatment, but also recovery with rehab services. We're a level 1 trauma center with capability to care for adults and children. So if a family is unfortunately in an emergency trauma, we have the ability to keep and care for the entire family here at Valleywise Health.
Valleywise Health Foundation has been serving the community for over 30 years. Our role is to raise funds and find resources for our health system. Valleywise Health identifies areas of the community that are most in need. That's where you're going to find our community health centers. That's where you're going to find our hospitals. Serves Maricopa County. Our main campus is at 24th and Roosevelt, where our medical center is housed, as well as our community health center and our behavioral health hospital.
Comprehensive primary care services for women, children, and adults, patients of all ages. A very busy, robust labor and delivery service for pregnant women. And what we are standing in here is one of our best training spaces. This is a simulation lab where we have our students and residents come practice clinical scenarios on mannequins that have a lot of lifelike qualities. We play a key role in the city of Phoenix and Maricopa County on medical education. So we are affiliated with a number of medical schools, and we host a number of residency training programs here to help provide future physicians and workforce for the state of Arizona.
Valleywise Health Foundation is proud to support the Backpack Campaign every year. This started as a program through our family resource centers years ago, just a grassroots employee donation. It's grown by having community partners. We now give over 3,000 backpacks to needy families. And it's such a heartwarming event to see the community partners come in, help us pack the backpacks, and then help distribute them to the family. And those kids are so happy when they go away because they know they're ready for school. So without our community partners, many programs are unable to get the resources they need to function. So when community partners come in, not only bring in volunteers from their organizations to help us, but also to donate funds, it makes a difference.
I hope that they leave feeling cared for and respected and heard.
Our mission is to make sure that you are supported as a patient and patients' families are supported no matter what care you need.
What a fantastic way of doing more. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't, and now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too, and when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Hello and welcome back to Doing More, where we shine a light on the good things happening in our communities. I'm Erica Cardenas. We're here at AZ Strut's staging room, where devices are waiting to be refurbished so they can be distributed. We caught up with the Arizona Community Foundation, where they manage charitable gifts and award millions in grants and scholarships each year to build a stronger future. Take a look.
The Arizona Community Foundation has an amazing history here in Arizona. It's a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and there are approximately 900 community foundations across the country. In Arizona, we're lucky because we get to serve the entire state. We partner with individuals, corporations, and nonprofits to bring their funds and deposit them here with other charitable individuals, and then we help invest those charitable dollars in nonprofits, not only here in Arizona, but across the world. Normally starts with a donor, an individual or a family that comes to us and says, you know, I'm really interested in doing our philanthropy here in Arizona. We'd like to partner with you, ACF, because you're a trusted nonprofit here in Arizona and you know the nonprofit sector and you know the needs in Arizona. So once we get a really good idea what that donor or donor's family wants to do with their charitable donation, we then connect them with those amazing nonprofits that we vetted and that we know very well, because we have staff all over the state of Arizona.
A lot of our grant making really focuses on early childhood and access to quality early childhood. We've really made a concerted effort over the past couple of years to really focus in on certifications, credentials, micro-credentials. So we're continuing to see growth in our tech manufacturing, advanced manufacturing spaces here in the state. And so a lot of our efforts on the scholarship work and some of the post-secondary work that we've been doing through the Ellis Center has really kind of focused in on providing more access to students in those spaces.
In the Stepping Stone Foundation, we're a very small team, so we rely on the support of the community to help us continue that support. Working with the staff from Arizona Community Foundation it's a plus. It's not just working with another big foundation. They're accessible, always ready to guide us or help us. They always have learning opportunities for us to better ourselves as leaders of the organizations.
One of the things that really kind of sets a Stepping Stone Foundation apart is the leadership, innovation. The leader of the organization, Gabby Jimenez, has done a really, really great job of thinking about partnerships, not only with her school partners, but other community partnerships to really kind of help to scale the work and think about what the next 20, 30 years of the organization is going to be.
For me, it's an honor to be leading the team here at the Arizona Community Foundations, because every day I see the impact of their work and I see the impact of our investors that they have every day in community. Amazing things can happen when you put people around the table with diverse ideas and perspectives. Great things come out of that, and that's, again, our superpower at ACF.
It's always amazing to see welcoming smiles. It's always a positive experience.
Anything you do with us, you're helping another nonprofit thrive. We're community philanthropy at heart. We give where we live.
We traveled to Creighton School District in Phoenix, Arizona, where United Healthcare Community Plan hosted their 19th annual Health and Wellness Back to School Fair at Excelencia School. Let's check it out.
We are very excited at United Healthcare Community Plan of Arizona to be hosting our 19th annual Health and Wellness Fair. We are here in the Creighton School District. We are at Excelencia Elementary School. The first 1,000 kids that come through the door get a backpack full of school supplies, and we know, this time of year it's really expensive for parents and for teachers. So we're very excited that we can at least start them out with a brand new backpack. That'll make the kids excited. Have some school supplies in there as well, so the parents don't have to worry about going through that expense. We've got a ton of great partners here today. Teros Health, who is one of our federally qualified health centers in Arizona.
It's important to give back, and then that's why we're here, right? We know, and a lot of our employees, a lot of our families, are maybe in the same predicament, and we want to be out there, and it's what we're all about. It's helping the community, it's coming together, being one, and providing the services that our community needs to keep moving forward and keep living the best lives they can.
Beauty school that's here giving kids haircuts. So again, they can start out the school year looking really sharp and dapper. And just again, it takes a community, like everyone says, no one can do this alone. So partnering with people that live in the communities like we do, that's what we really want. And Creighton went out of their way to let us use their school, let us set up, be able to do all of these great things because they know how critical it is for their kids learning and being healthy, and for their families as well.
This event's so important to our community because it allows our families to get ready for school before the first day. And as a district, we are really focused on improving student outcomes, but the best way we can do that is to have every kid ready with everything that they need on the first day of school. The reactions I have seen from our kids getting their backpacks and getting their supplies, and even seeing some of their friends at the event, they are literally vibrating with excitement. It gets me so energized for the start of the school year. I was already excited, but seeing the kids' reaction, the smile on their faces and their joy to be back and getting ready for school just makes for an amazing set.
It's not just about backpacks, it's truly about community and bringing people together and giving back. We know that things are tough right now, and school is getting ready to get started, and we're trying to help the families.
I hope the impression that everyone leaves with today is that there are many people in the community who care about them, our school district, our partners at United Healthcare, all the other partners that are here with us today, but beyond that, and we want to help make certain every student is super successful.
We'll be back with more on Doing More after this.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information, uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would